Welcome to another Goat vs. Fish morning motivational with the one true versus Goat vs. Fish. And music by It's Sunshine. It's the morning time, and here on the Goat vs. Fish morning motivational, we wake up so you don't have to. We already see QC, MC Seb, and I Can Fix Amber Heard in the verses, ready to go, ready to fish, ready to goat. Ready to get off the fence this morning? Join us for a celebration of goat, of fish, of mighty verses, of unification. Tell someone you know. Share the verses, like the verses. Say something about the verses. Or just enjoy some Goat vs. Fish. It's Wednesday versus. Some call it Hump Day. Some call it Fence Day. We're almost halfway through. And Goat vs. Fish brings the verses to you. Enjoy these musications by Sunshine. And let's check in on the shrine for our contemplation as we begin this morning motivation. There seems to be a strange-looking fence-sitter that has set itself upon the eternal flame of the verses and is somehow obstructing our view. But we're not going to let that stop us, are we? No, we never do. We never do. Got a lot of news to cover on the Instagram this versus. Goat vs. Fish has been saving the stories. It's a big world out there. Sometimes we like to avoid. But Goat vs. Fish will not be so annoyed as to not show you the goings-on. And through the lens of Goat vs. Fish, through the make-believes and pretends of Goat vs. Fish, through the means and ends of Goat vs. Fish, we're gonna get through it together. Just don't think you're too clever for Goat vs. Fish, you fence-sitter, you. Trying to outwit the verses before it even begins, and hello to you, Baodin. Hello to you, Baodin. The Mighty Verses is continuing with no resolution in sight, but resolve it might, Gather round, congregation. Goat vs. Fish is about to begin. Let's check in with our music by Sunshine. Celebration, celebration!
Hello.
How you feeling this morning, Sunshine?
I'm feeling good and not as congested.
Well, isn't that nice? Well, isn't that nice?
It is very nice.
Everyone say hi. Everyone say hi. It always helps to have a little musication in the morning to get you going, What type of musication do you like to listen to in the morning, Sunshine?
I would say something like something more spaced out, something more. But it can also be like,
Oh, yeah. Hey, Kueller. We're going to play this music. You don't have to like it if you don't want, but we're going to appreciation what Sunshine brings to the morning motivation.
is 10,000 Reasons a song?
10,000 resins?
Yeah, 10,000 Resins.
But let's take this verses, let's take this verses with optimism. Let's take this verses not as a fancy proposition. Let's take this just as a fair curiosity. Can you play other music? Can you? You are being asked, can you play other music?
Yeah, you play all the music.
All the music!
Ten thousand reasons. La 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 la. That was for
We say Kueller
Kueller.
vernacular.
that was for Kilo Vernacular.
10,000 reasons to verses. I've got 10,000 reasons to verses all the goat and fish. 10,000 reasons to wake up in a morning like this. 10,000 reasons to verses. First reason, it's goat versus fish. Second reason, it's still goat versus fish. Fifth reason, I skipped the third and fourth, but they're all goat versus fish. I got 10,000 reasons to verses, and they're all the same. 10,000 verses, some think are lame. Fence-sitters say your reasons don't make any sense. I say, are you goat or a fish? Reason number 9,987 really gets my head all a-scratching. When I ponder 9,987, I go, whoa. Whoa, it's goat versus fish. It's fish versus goat. Yeah. We got 10,000 reasons to versus goat and fish, and they're all one and the same. They're all one and the same. You will find that many verses, you have justifications for what it is you want to do. You're looking for reasons. You're looking for reasons to move through. You're looking for your motivations. You're searching for your motivations. And yes, synthetic sound, it is goat versus fish. You're looking for your motivation. You're saying, where is it? I can't seem to find it. It's got to be somewhere. It's got to be somewhere. And so you start a rationalization. You start to say, well, the first verse is that I want to do this is goat, and the second verse is I want to do this is fish. But goat and fish, the verses is already within you. The verses is already within you. And perhaps it is something that you wish to do. Perhaps it is something that you do not wish to do. But you will often find that all of those justifications are just little excuses after all. They are simply ways for you to express the feeling that is already deep inside. A feeling, sometimes with great pride. A feeling sometimes that you are trying to hide from yourself or from others, or who is to say? But goat and fish. You need only know that you have that feeling. You need to only carry that feeling with you into what it is that you want to do. Sometimes you can't name it, and sometimes all that time you are spending attempting to justify that which it is you have already decided to do, that which you have already chosen. It is just verses wasted. It is just verses wasted on the fence when you could be going out there and triumphing that goat and triumphing that fish. For many verses, goat versus fish will ask the one true question: are you goat or are you fish? And someone will say goat, and we will say celebration for goat, and we will say, why do you choose goat? And they will say to goat versus fish. They will say to goat versus fish, not 10,000 reasons. But they will say, I am goat because I'm a goat. They will say, I am a goat because I versus the fish. But wait, you can't do that, says the fence sitter. The verses just go around and around and around. You're saying nothing, you're saying nothing. There's a time, of course, for this rigorous academic justification. It is true, and it is a practice all of its own. But when you're rising from your slumber, the day you are trying to take under, goat and fish, sometimes the simplest verses is best. You already know what you have to go out and do. Perhaps it's something that you've been trying to avoid. Perhaps it's something that's been leaving you annoyed. Perhaps it's something Perhaps it is something. Perhaps it's something. But you've got this, goat and fish. You've got this. Goat versus fish knows. So perhaps instead of seeking that final justification, you instead just do that versus. You just do that versus. You get committed. You can feel that you know if you are going to choose fish or you are going to choose goat. And you go with that feeling, goat and fish. You go with that feeling. Because when it comes to matters of what you need to do, sometimes there's no time to sit on the fence. Do your contemplations, goat and fish. Goat versus fish will never tell you never to do your contemplations. But once you know, once you fish, once you goat, that's all the reasons you need. That's all the reasons you need to heed. The reason for the season. The motion for the motivation. The elation for the musication. Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. And a mighty morning motivational to all the goat and fish in the verses. Celebration, celebration, celebration! Yes! Celebration for justification, celebration for justification. Celebration for justification. Let's check in with the congregation. Let's check in with the congregation. Synthetic sound with the rising sunshine to Goat versus Fish. Synthetic sound with the applause for Goat versus Fish. Appreciation, synthetic sound. Appreciation, synthetic sound. It's sunshine. Do you like synthetic sounds?
I like synthetic sounds. In equal parts synthetic and organic.
Autumn Samurai says, celebration, celebration, celebration. Perhaps there is a fence sitter in all of us just waiting to be let free. Yes, Goat versus Fish brings the verses to thee, for there is a little fence sitter inside each and every one of us until we hear the glory of the one true question and choose goat or fish. Autumn Samurai says we must not listen to the fence sitters. Oh, we can listen to the fence sitters. We can hear the fence sitters. Goat versus Fish likes to listen to the fence sitters. We want to know what they have to say. We want to know why they are that way. And surely when we ask, are you goat or fish? If you're not listening to what that fence sitter has to say, you might not even hear when they make their declaration. Sometimes when you have fancy thoughts deep within, Goat versus Fish, you do not have to pay them any heed. They may be untrue, they may be false verses that are holding you back, As they are in your mind on the fence you've sat. You can listen, but that does not mean you believe. But listening is just another way to perceive. And Goat versus Fish will hear what you have to say, and we hope you fence sitters choose goat or fish one day. Perhaps today is that day. Wow Mom says, I'm a goat because goats do it better. Ah, now there's the verses. Now we see the verses starting. Goats doing it better, better than fish. Canada Rami with the celebration for the power of choice. 10,000 goats, says Percules. See also fish versus goat, says Eventually Gold. Yes, Synthetic Sound says it's goat versus fish. That was your first message. Celebration for Synthetic Sound with their first message. Little Creepy, welcome to the verses. Padistador, a.k.a. Potatoes Goat. Artman says, here comes the sun, here comes the sunshine. Bailden says, brah, I don't want it today. Feel like crap, have to go to work anyway. Here's what Goat versus Fish will say. Feel like crap. You feel like crap. And you take that crappy feeling all the way with you to work, and you just do it anyway. You may feel like crap, but you're not crap, Bayoden 420. You're a fish. And you just haul that crap with you, and you say, come on, crap. We're getting this done. And the crap will say, man, I don't want to. I'm gonna be lame. But you don't let that crap give you crap. You give that crap what for? And you let that crap whine and complain in the back while you take care of those verses. Doesn't mean you have to like it. But if you've already chosen fish, you already believe in the fish, then get out there and versus that goat. You versus the crap out of that goat. You verse the crap out of that goat, Bayoden. You versus the crap out of that goat. You versus the crap out of that crappy goat. We're not saying all goats are crappy, just this crappy Bayoden goat. Is this Goat versus Fish radio? It could be listened to as Goat versus Fish radio. This could be a radio type versus. It surely could. And we have Synthetic Sound who says, I chose fish because I am Pisces. Well, let us tell you this. Here on Goat versus Fish, it is not for the stars to declare what it is that you are. You can choose a fish because Pisces. But we want you to know that you being goat or fish is not an accident of birth. You being goat or fish is a choice that you make for yourself. So we will ask you one more time, synthetic sound. And in a booming voice through which all the congregation resound, are you goat or are you fish? Nice verses. And we're going to count your goat and fish. We're going to count your goat and fish on the board. Some of you have been counted multiple times before, but this Mighty Verses rages on, and we're going to get it going on. We're going to get it going on. We're not ready to erase. We're not ready to erase just yet. Let's check in on the verses. Let's check in on the verses. We've got goat versus fish. It's definitely goat versus fish for certain. And as we can see, we have currently, almost looking somewhat fancy, but for goat, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 11,111 points for the goat. And yes, points are not the only verses we're counting, so do not despair, fish. And besides fish, why despair when you have 11,300 points for fish? 11,300 points for fish. Fish are slightly out-positioning the goat in points. How do we earn these points? How do we earn these points? Your bits and your sound alerts and your exclamation point tips to goat versus fish, they all contribute to the points of goat and fish. Throw your support behind the goat and the fish and know that you are supporting goat versus fish. And now we have the count of the goat. Let's count the goat and the fish. Goat. 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s, 17s, 18s, 19s, 20s, 21s, 22s, 23s, 24s, 25s, 26s, 27s, 28s, 29s, 30s, 30 goat, 30 goat, 30 goat. It's kind of a big scramble. Sometimes we count the goat and they're all nice and organization, but they've got a bit scrambly, this verses. And we had 7 radiations of goat. We had 3 polls. Goat keep winning those YouTube polls. We have polls on YouTube in the YouTube chat, and they kept being won by goat. They kept being won by goat, so goat are leading in the polls. 3 polls have gone to goat since we began the Mighty Verses, and 1 has gone to fish. We've got 2 marble wins for goat. We've got 2 marble wins for fish. We've got 2 marble wins for the fence. Sometimes we roll the marbles and we see who wins, goat or fish. So be sure to play on the marbles when we play marbles. When it comes to making some noise for the goat and fish, those fish are making way more noise than goat. Fish are being way more noisy. And speaking of fish, how many fish we got? 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s, 17s, 18s, 19s, 20s, 21s, 22s, 23s, 24s, 25, 25 fish. The versability of unification. It is versable that we could achieve a unification this verses. But we are still in a Mighty Verses. We have a bonus verses for goat, a bonus verses for goat. And we have 5 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6, 7 subscriptions for fish, and 1 subscription for goat. It's anyone's verses here on Goat versus Fish. It's anyone's verses. So are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or are you fish? We want to count your verses. We want to count your verses here on the board of Goat versus Fish. The more often you show up for Goat versus Fish, the more your labors will affect Goat versus Fish. Bailed in for 20 says fish. So a fish gets in there. That's another fish. And you can see the fish are way more organized, way more easy to count than goat. The goat are just running all over the place. Oh, also, can you please move the snail by 1, please? Yes, of course. We have a slow-moving fence sitter in the verses. And here they are. This fence sitter is very slow to choose goat or fish, but it makes its way slowly off of the fence. So here we go. It's another day. It's another morning motivational. Fish by fish, goat by goat. We've got motion. We've got motion. You can do it. You can do it, little guy. It's a lovely bit. It's a lovely bit. So Bayonin 420 has gone fish. Are you goat or are you fish? This is your time to count. This is your time to count. This is our time to count the goat and fish. Eventually goat laughing at the verses. You may have already declared goat or fish in the congregation. You may already have. So we'll have a look, but we want to see. We want to see. We want to see. We want to see your declarations of goat or fish. Bayonin 420 with the fish. Bayonin 420 with the fish. Synthetic Sound says, I choose fish unequivocally. That's what we like on Goat versus Fish. Yes. And Grandmaster Ong with the fish. Grandmaster Ong with the fish. And Patistedor with the fish. So that's 3 more fish. That's 3 more fish. Wow, Mom says it's a fish day. I walk with soggy shoes. Kipa Orikipo says, I've got a one-on-one versus today. It's been a long time since I've been in such a versus. Thank you for the motivations. Of course, Kipa Orikipo. Of course, Goat versus Fish. We are pleased that the motivations are versing for you. That's 3 fish. That's 3 fish. Is Goat versus Fish an aphorism? Sunshine, is Goat versus Fish an aphorism?
Goat versus fish is a aphorism only when on the fence.
Ah, okay. Well, there you hear it. Goat versus Fish can give you all kinds of information, but sometimes the perspective of Sunshine can spice it up. And Dragon Ball says, let's go goat. So that's 3 fish and eventually gold. Are you going goldfish? Are you going goldfish? Or are you going gold goat this versus? Ah, speaking of gold goat. Dragon Balls 325 is in the verses. That's another goat. That's another goat. That's another goat. That's another goat. Let's check in once again on the Shrine of Goat versus Fish because something big's going on. Something big is going on at the Shrine of Goat versus Fish. Something big's going on. As you know, Goat and Fish, Goat versus Fish is a congregation. It's a place where we all versus together. It's a place where we all versus together. Can we get something? Can we get something in a sort of halo, like oh, kind of versus? We'll warm you into it. Dragon Balls 325 has made a contribution to the Shrine of Goat versus Fish. And at the mail of Goat versus Fish, it has arrived. Behold! The goat! Celebration for Goat! Celebration for Goat! Celebration for Goat! At the Shrine of Goat versus Fish! Yes, you too can make contributions to the Shrine of Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish now in the congregation. Mail. Fan mail and gifts to Goat versus Fish. 18034 Ventura Boulevard. Box 252, Encino, California, 91316. You may also send bits and tips to GoatVsFish and have requests to purchase particular verses. You may also purchase them yourself and ship them directly to GoatVsFish, which is actually kind of an easier versus. The GOAT! And now, it's time for our morning celebrations with Thunder Tracks. It's time for morning celebrations for Thunder Tracks. Are you going to be joining us on our morning celebrations this versus? Sunshine, what do you say? It's a question.
I can do either or.
You can do either or. Well,
Yeah.
Well, why don't you loosen up? Why don't you loosen up a bit with GoatVsFish? Why don't you let the verses move you?
Okay.
Okay, that's what we like to hear. Here we go. Here's our music by Thunder Tracks. And we're going to do our morning celebration. So Goat and Fish, time to stretch out. Time to let the blood flow. Time to let that blood flow. Here on the GoatVsFish show. First, when we begin our morning celebrations, moving about, you can move about in any way that you wish. Find balance within yourself, Goat and Fish. Find balance within yourself. Feel it. Feel your musculature. Feel your skeleture. Feel your tendons. For when you start moving about, you will get suddenly a huge rush of information coming to you. How do you feel? What's tight? What's loose? What needs your attention? So move every part of you. Look at yourself in the verses. Are you hunched over? Perhaps straighten up a bit. Not too rigid like a fence post. No. Align yourself, Goat and Fish. Find yourself, Goat and Fish. So many in the verses. Never take even one verses, much less 5, much less a whole Thunder Tracks to even see how do I feel. We think of our feelings as being verses of the heart, and it's true. But your feelings of the body, these are just as true. And you will find that body versus heart and mind, it's a false verses, just like the Goat and Fish. They are very much connection. So why make a selection of body and heart and mind when we can verses all together, Goat and Fish? Just get up off your behind if you can. If you're stuck on your behind, then move your feet and move your hands. And now, Goat and Fish, some morning celebrations. Get your feet about shoulder width apart. Toes pointed slightly outward. Fully forward is okay too, but slightly outward is comfortable for most Goat and Fish. And we raise our arms, we raise our hooves, we raise our fins above. We raise them above. And together. Hold that verses. You may strain, but don't think of it as pain. Don't think of it as pain. You're just using that verses. And now down, Goat and Fish. Down, Goat and Fish. We practice getting off of the fence. Down, Goat and Fish. Celebration! Just like that. And we go big out. We go big and out like that. We want to cover as much space. Oh, my verses. As we can. We'll knock over this. Oh, no. GoatVsFish. Mind the verses around you. Okay, let's go for two. Celebration. Time for three. Time for three. Celebration. Time for four. Time for four. Time for one more. Celebration. Now, we're not just saying celebration. We're not just saying celebration. It is also an exhalation. When we say celebration, it is an exhalation. So when we go down in the morning celebration, it is an inhalation. And then when we rise, it is an exhalation. Number 5. Celebration. Celebration. That's 7. That's 7. Let's do 3 more. Celebration. That's 8. That's 8. We're greeting the day with motivation. Celebration. That's 9. That's 9. And on this last verses, we're going to go down and we're going to do a little rump shaking. Work out those hips. Work out those hips. Let's work out those hips before we get to those dips. Just like this. Shake it out. Get ready for that last one. Get ready for that last one. And here we go, Goat and Fish. Here we go. Celebration! And that's your morning celebrations. And that's your morning celebrations. Thank you for joining us, Sunshine. All hail Goat, says Stay Lifted Productions. Don't fall for the false prophet Fish. He will lead you to sin and damnation. Whoa! And we like this Thundertrack song called For You because in that Thundertrack song, they say thank you. They say thank you. And what a nice verses. What a nice verses to thank you. Goat and Fish, it's time to say thank you. Goat versus Fish, there's a new amazing feature here on Goat versus Fish. A new amazing feature. We're going to look at it right now. It's called the Green Napkins of Nose Blowing on Goat versus Fish. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Sunshine, why don't you come on up here? Why don't you come on up here and show them this new amazing technology that we have acquired on Goat versus Fish?
So whenever I blow my nose in public, my face disappears.
Let's have a look. Wow! Whoa! Sunshine, where'd you... Sunshine? Hello? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where is that Sunshine? What? They were just here in the studio. They were just here. They were just...
I just blew my face out. That's where I went.
Sunshine blew their entire face out! So there you have it. The new technology of Goat versus Fish. So now when Sunshine is dealing with their allergies, you don't have to see it happen. It will all be completely invisible.
Yay!
But you might still hear it if they're close to the mic. But it'll be totally unseen.
Whoa, I'm not fish anymore. Look at this.
Whoa, what happened to the fish?
Yeah, fish disappeared.
Secret hidden fish, secret hidden fish.
This is what he looks like as a fence sitter.
What, Goat? You're making Goat versus Fish a fence sitter now?
Yeah.
What the?
This is what fence sitting looks like. You're neither goat or fish.
Well, you're neither goat nor fish.
Yeah.
Well, surely this is...
Goat versus fish.
Oh, well, some say Goat versus Fish. The unseen versus. Look, it's Goat versus Fish, whether you see it or not.
Now you can say it, so now it's goat versus fish.
Oh, we do not deny that it's Goat versus Fish.
Even this part of my brain is missing over here.
Oh, that part of your brain is missing?
Yeah.
Are you certain it wasn't always not there?
If I put this up here, it becomes double missing. So I'm missing 2 brains as opposed to 1.
Well, maybe you could go for 3.
Whoa. I need... That's a tier 2 emote right there.
That's a tier 2 emote right there. And if we may.
Yeah, sure. Just hold it from the top.
Now you're invisible.
Oh.
Wow, you're all invisible now.
Yeah.
Okay, GoatVsFish is going to go wash our hand now. And now, Sunshine, please play us some glorious hand washing music.
Okay.
And we'll be right back.
Yeah, guys. Who likes hand washing music? I know I do. Also like microphone stands that stay still. And don't fence it. Oh yeah, this is a new interesting verses. Yeah. I've never had an employer hold one of my dirty napkins before in front of the office. This is some hand washing music, right? We're gonna wash our hands to this music. Ooh. The time to hand wash. You guys gotta wash your hands. How many of your hands are dirty? Oh, thank you, Dragon Balls. How many of your hands are dirty? Mine are clean. Whoa. It has to be a different kind of green. I think that towel's a little bit fancy.
It's a big one. GoatVsFish has a big one. That would be a whole other versus. Imagine if GoatVsFish was like this. What if that was GoatVsFish?
That would be a Technicolor versus.
Technoverse?
Yeah.
That would be a whole other presentation of GoatVsFish. GoatVsFish! What do you think? What do you think? What do you think about this versus of GoatVsFish? Pretty cool.
You're the land and the sea.
The land. Sea and...
Because you wanted techno. I don't listen to a lot of techno.
Pretty sure that's exactly what techno sounds like. Makes a noise for the techno of Sunshine. Big rig goes goat, weed pipe goes fish. Put boobs on the towel. We'll work on that. We'll work on that. We'll work on that. We're about to get into the news. But before we do, we've got Big Rig with one goat. We've got Big Rig with one goat, please. Big Rig says, 1 goat, please. That's 1 goat, please. We've got your goat, we've got your goat, we've got Weed Pipe the Fish. We've got Weed Pipe the Fish in the verses. Celebration for fish, celebration for fish. Some of those are some synthetic sounds. Oh, yes, Lol, okay, thanks. Dragon Balls likes your playing. Dragon Balls likes your playing.
Thank you, Dragon Balls.
Stay Lifted Productions going goat. They say they're on a THC break for 48 hours, and I'm a bit cranky. Well, that's okay. You have our support. You have our support. Hey, everyone, Stay Lifted Productions is on a 24-hour THC break, and they're feeling a little bit cranky. They're feeling a bit janky. Can we all give Stay Lifted Productions a little bit of support, a little bit of support? You have the support of Goat vs. Fish. You have the support of Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish enjoys the grass of the land and the weed of the sea as much as any goat or fish. But it sounds like you've got a versus. It sounds like you've got a versus in Goat vs. Fish. You have the support of Goat vs. Fish. Go on, crank through it, crank through it, crank through it! Versus to you, versus you. Almighty versus to you, almighty versus to you. Almighty versus to you. Eventually, Gold says, I'll smoke twice as much for you. Goat and Fish. Okay. Okay, Goat and Fish. Okay, a request. Goat versus Fish. A request from Goat versus Fish. So when that happens, try to turn away just a bit more, if you could.
Okay, I will.
Okay, celebration. Eventually, Gold will smoke twice as much as you. I Can Fix Amber Heard will smoke a cigar. It's a big smoking versus, and you ain't in it, Stay Lifted Productions. You ain't in it. You ain't in it. Goat and Fish, you will notice the title of this stream. You'll notice the title of this stream. You will notice the title of this stream. It's got an interesting title. Is Goat faking it? The very title of this stream is Goat faking it. Look, we've got a huge and mighty versus happening here on Goat versus Fish. It's been going on for almost a week. Perhaps even more. And Goat and Fish it's looking pretty close. You could argue that the Goat have some advantages. The Fish certainly have a few. But has Fish been taking it too easy on Goat? Has Goat been faking it for sympathy this whole time? Let's have a look. This is Goat vs. Fish, investigative versus. Time for some news of Goat vs. Fish. Oh, hey, wow, look what it is. And here is some news of Goat vs. Fish. Our goat is faking an injury.
Has been faking an injury. A couple days ago, we noticed our goat limping. We've been giving her Epsom salt baths, bandaging her hoof up. She's been in a stall with her sister this whole time.
Epsom salt baths? So, salt like salt from the Sea of the Fish? Now, some may say Epsom salt isn't the same salt as is in the Sea of the Fish. But here on Goat vs. Fish, we heard salt, and that sounds like Sea of the Fish. And we're going to say that, speaking of synthetic sounds, that maybe the goat is using some kind of extra special salts in order to take a bath like it's trying to simulate some kind of synthetic fish situation. Oh, I don't have to go versus the whole fish. I'll just soak my leg in the comfort of the salt. Now, this is okay. This is no fault for goat, but let it be known that the goat, when they seek comfort, they will seek fish. They will seek versus a fish. They will seek even Epsom salts. They want to put their injured hoof in the Sea of the Fish because that's where they know the verses really happen. And Goat and Fish, you're not getting better. You're not getting better unless you versus. Goat knows that.
Last night, we took off her bandage to see how she will do this morning. She was looking great. We brought her back to the paddock with the other goats, and guess what? 2 seconds later, she was going up to other goats to show that she is injured. Literally 2 minutes ago, she was completely fine.
Goat deception! Goat deception! The goat's fine. I'm okay. It's frolicking around, prancing around. But then as soon as it gets around its fellow goats, it's like, oh no. I'm hurt. I don't know if I can make it through. I don't know if I can make it through. So cute.
We have been bamboozled. She was just wanting a spa weekend. First, we get pranked by a cow. She faked a pregnancy to get special treatment. Now,
Well, listen, we would never expect anything less from a cow. From a cow. Is a cow even a goat or a fish? We've heard it. We've heard the lowings of the cow, and we've heard of the cowfish, and they kind of look like a big, hefty goat. But just leave it to the cows. Leave it to the cows to fake a pregnancy to get special treatment. The fence sitter, how low can you sit? How low can you sit on the fence? Faking such a precious verses. You're bringing a new goat or fish into the universe. It's the very verses of birth. It's the very verses of birth. But no, I was just faking it to get a bit of special verses. Well, you're not getting any fakery from GoatVsFish. GoatVsFish isn't going to fake being pregnant anytime soon. Though we suppose you could try. Goat and fish, these goats, they're getting wily. Can you really trust the goat now that we know this? Can you really trust the goat?
a goat. No one else can get injured. Our goat has been faking an injury.
The goat has been faking an injury, so we want to hear it. We want to hear it from the congregation. Is this goat just trying to get out of versing the fish? This goat is trying to stay at home, while other goats are going to the front lines. The other goats are getting out there and doing the verses. And this goat wants to stay home and fake injury. Next thing you know, they'll be running for president. Next thing you know, they're going to be in Congress, and they're going to be claiming that there are other goats out there who are swift boating. Next thing you know, they're going to be signing up your kids and your spawn for military service when they stayed home faking injuries. Just so they could get a little massage, just so they could get a little extra massage. Are you hurt, Sunshine? Are you hurt?
Am I hurt by?
Are you injured in a general fashion?
No.
No, okay.
I'm fish.
You're a fish. Celebration for fish! Celebration for fish! Well, we are so pleased to hear that you're not hurt at all, because if you were hurt, we actually had a whole entire weekend's worth of spa packages that we were going to provide unto you as someone who provides a regular service to GoatVsFish, and it was going to be an all-inclusive mud masks and hand and foot massage, and it was going to be a whole thing that would have probably felt really great and been really pleasing, and it would have all been on the dime of GoatVsFish. But since you're not injured, then don't worry about it. It's okay.
All expenses paid?
Of course. But because you're not injured, and celebration that you're not injured, we don't need to worry about it.
Oh, my fin.
What? What's that?
My fin.
Oh, your fin. Oh, you must be jesting with GoatVsFish. Now you're using goat tactics. Now you're using goat tactics on GoatVsFish. You were fine just a verses ago. I can fix Amber Heard. The fence sitter says, I have a bad hangnail. Can I go? Can you go? No. You have to stay. I can fix Amber Heard. You have to stay the whole verses. And then maybe we'll get you some hangnail treatment. Weed Pipe says, celebration for fish. Tatum says, I am fish. And everyone just seems to think this is all so cute. Eventually, Gold just seems to think it's all so cute. Yes, it's all so cute when goat fake injuries to get out of versing the fish. They say, give me an easy verses. Give me an easy verses. Give me an Epsom salt bath. Give me an Epsom salt bath. I don't need to do the hard verses. Don't fake it, Goat and Fish. You're going to be like the Amber Heard's still on the fence. You're going to be like the goat who cried fence. That's what this is. This is the parable of the goat who cried fence. Once there was a goat, and that goat claimed, I am hurt, I can't versus the fish. Give me an easy one, give me an easy Epsom salt bath, and around my hooves put a beautiful pink wrap. And then the next verse is the goat claimed the same, I am hurt, I need my bath, I need my wrap. I need my bath, I need my wrap. But then one verse is, the fence fell upon the goat. And the goat climbed out. I'm injured. Help, help, help. But all their fellow goat looked at that goat and said, no. We think that you're just faking it with a false verses. So baby, don't do that next time. Don't cry fence every verses. Otherwise, you might not get the help you need, and Goat vs. Fish wants all goat and fish to get the help that they need. Because here on Goat vs. Fish, we promise you universal basic verses for all goat and fish. Are you feeling injured? Are you feeling hurt? Are you feeling sick? Goat vs. Fish wants you to have universal basic verses so the goat can all be healthy to versus the fish. So the fish can all be healthy to versus the goat. You need not fake. It's not a mistake. It's universal basic verses for a healthy verse America. For a healthy tomorrow, for a healthy today, for a healthy yesterday, goat and fish. We want goat to eat their hay. We want fish to eat their weeds. And we want all goat and fish to be of the heartiest stocks and the mightiest breeds. So go out there, goat and fish, and do your verses. And know that here in Goat vs. Fish's Verse America, your health is first in our complimentations and our contemplations. Universal basic verses for all goat and fish. But please don't fake it. You're a burden on the system. So that was Goat faking injury. Appreciation to Missy Pickles 80 who follows Goat vs. Fish. Missy Pickles 80, are you goat or are you fish? Lysergic Freak Fish says, first time chatter, what in tarnation did I walk into here? It's if you walked into, well, we'll show you once before we move on to the next story. But here's what we had.
Faking an injury. A couple days ago, we noticed our goat limping. We've been giving her Epsom salt baths, bandaging her hoof up. She's been in a stall with her sister this whole time. Last night, we took off her bandage to see how she will do this morning. She was looking great. We brought her back to the paddock with the other goats, and guess what? 2 seconds later, she was going up to other goats to show that she is injured. Literally 2 minutes ago, she was completely fine. We have been bamboozled. She was just
Bamboozled by goat. Bamboozled by goat. Goat vs. Fish leaves a comment now. Bamboozled by goat. This goat is faking it so they don't have to versus the fish. They want an easy Epsom salt versus, well, their fellow goat are taking on sharks. Don't be the goat who cried fence. Rest up, get healthy, and get back to versing the fish like every goat should. That's a comment by Goat vs. Fish. That's a comment by Goat vs. Fish. And now goat versus fish. Weedpipe says maybe the goat isn't faking it. Weedpipe, you're a fish. You trust the goat? You trust the goat after verses like that? Next news story. Goat versus fish doesn't even know what's in the next tab. We don't even know what awaits. We're just going to click on it, and we're going to see what the next news of goat versus fish has to bring. And 5 things hiking with a goat has taught me about trust. Sunshine, let's get some trusting music. As a nice contrast to that goat of deception earlier, faking its injuries, here we have a goat that's teaching you about trust. Is this gaslighting by goat? Sure, I was faking earlier, but trust me. Let's see. Now, hiking with a goat can't be faking an injury there. You're out on the hike, and goats are known for climbing on the land. So let's see. Number 1. If it walks calmly beside you, enjoy it. It won't last. It seems like that goat is either going to go out in advance and scout to versus the fish, see what fish are up ahead, or it's going to linger behind. It's going to linger behind and watch your 6. But if it's walking beside, perhaps that's a nice little relaxation, a nice little time together with goat. Calm goat. It's tough to be calm in a tough and rough verses out there. It's tough to be calm when the fish are all out trying to get you. It's tough to be calm when the fences are closing in around you. But do take a versus of calm out on your hike. And enjoy your walk. Number 2. If it looks at you too long, something's about to happen. It's too long. It's too long. It's too long. Sunshine, something's about to happen. The fish versus the goat. The fish versus the goat. It was about to happen, and it did happen. Celebration for fish versus goat. We love when something happens. Número 3. When it runs, you run. Don't ask questions. That goat knows the fish. That goat knows when the fish is making their attack maneuvers. So, that goat goes, and there goes goat. There is time for the one true question. Are you goat or are you fish? But when that goat is mid-run, then the goat knows it's goat. It knows that the fish is coming to versus, and that goat is saying, now is not the time for the one true question. You've already committed to goat. You've already committed to goat. So join me, goat. Join me, fellow goat. And let's run. Run. Run from the fish. Run from the fish. The fish is coming. Run. Don't ask questions. Just run. Run for your verses. Number 4. Never turn your back ever. You thought you could trust that goat? You thought that goat was looking out for you? You thought that goat wanted to just walk by your side with pride or give you warnings about the fish when you went to make your great escape? Maybe you're trusting that goat a little too much. Never turn your back on a goat. Why? It's rude to turn your back on goat. And if you turn your back on goat, that goat might take offense, and the next thing you know, what happened to all of your rations? What happened to all of your rations? If you turn your back on goat, you might as well be fish. You might as well be fish just like this. And if you're fish to the goat, then expectation something like this. Suddenly, all your precious hydration, it's falling off the cliff. It's falling off the cliff. And we hear that this is all very fish-biased language. We're just taking the advice. We're taking the advice of someone who's gone hiking with a goat. Who are we to question their experience? We're not going to do that. Not like the fence sitter. Weren't you paying attention to verses 3? Don't ask questions. Never turn your back ever. Never turn your back on goat. Sabotage of goat. The verses of Goat versus Fish isn't all just about headbutting and kicking and fin slapping and splashing. It's also about cutting off major supply lines. And this goat is cutting off major supply lines. Fish, you made it that far. No further, says Goat. The line must be drawn here. And suddenly your hydration is gone. Number 5. Remember, you don't own the goat. The goat owns you. And just look! You just got owned! You just got owned by goat! 5 things, 5 lessons learned on your hike? You thought you were a goat. You thought you could climb just like a goat. And at the start of it all, remember how it all began? Goat was walking calmly beside you. Well, Goat was just sizing you up and going, hey, are you a real goat? Are you a real goat? It looks at you. Are you goat or fish? Are you really a goat? Examination? Well, if you're really goat, then run with the goat. Can you really run like the goat? And when it finds that you can't, it takes your supplies and destroys them. And then you've been owned by goat. You've been owned by goat. Fish, you just got owned by goat. In the previous verses, the goat was faking their injury for sympathy. But in this verses, the goat is using the full power of their strength to own you. Beware what you wish for, fish. The goat may begin as a hiking companion in unification, but before long, you might find yourself getting owned. And if you want to own Goat vs. Fish, then you can go to GoatVsFish.com and you can look at the merch of Goat vs. Fish. You too can own Goat vs. Fish, such as the towel of Goat vs. Fish, the shirt of Goat vs. Fish, the mug of Goat vs. Fish, the other unification shirt of Goat vs. Fish, the friend and head shirt of Goat vs. Fish, and the Goat vs. Fish without the words that say Goat vs. Fish, the beanie of Goat vs. Fish, and the Goat vs. Fish socks. Get owned by Goat vs. Fish. Own Goat vs. Fish. Own Goat vs. Fish. Right this very verses. Appreciation. Best of verses out there, Goat and Fish, on your hike. You're gonna need it. Okay, and now on to the next news story of Goat versus Fish. On to the next news story of Goat versus Fish. Checking in with the congregation, of course. We have Missy Pickles who says, fish, celebration more fish, celebration more fish. Missy Pickles, celebration more fish. Let's get your fish in the verses. Those socks are sick, those socks are sick, those 6 are socks, 6 are socks. 6 or socks may break my blocks. I want that personal Goat versus Fish touch. Okay. It's yours. Fish appreciation, Missy Pickles, who followed 11 minutes ago. You're 11 minutes into Goat versus Fish. How do you feel? This is the Morning Motivational. You've entered a whole new world, a whole new universe of Goat vs. Fish here on the Goat vs. Fish station with Musications by Sunshine. It's Goat vs. Fish, every versus all the time. How you feeling, Missy? How you feeling, Missy Pickles? They say, fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum. And because you are a new chatter here on Goat vs. Fish and a new follower of Goat vs. Fish, we are going to treat you. We're going to take a brief detour from the news, and we're going to search for fish heads, Goat vs. Fish on YouTube. We're going to search for fish heads, Goat vs. Fish, YouTube, and we're going to search for Goat vs. Fish. We're going to search for this. We're going to search for this. And we want to find it. Where's the verses? Where's the verses of fish heads, chicken heads, barns and barns? Barns and barns, fish heads. Barns and barns, fish heads, Goat vs. Fish. Fish heads, barns, invisible sunshine, fish heads, carrot top. Here we are, Goat vs. Fish. We found it. We found it. Do not despair. We found it. Here is Goat vs. Fish. Here's Goat vs. Fish live at the Whiskey A Go Go, performing fish heads with Carrot Top of the Radioactive Chicken Heads on WTF TV, on Green Jellÿ's WTF TV, here on the Carrot Top YouTube channel. Here is Goat vs. Fish doing some fish heads, and here we versus.
Fish heads! This song is dedicated to the memory of our dearly departed friend, Artie Barnes from Barnes and Barnes.
We want you all singing along, all about fish heads, all about.
You know it, sing along.
Take your pants off. Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum. Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum.
In the morning, laughing happy fish heads. In the evening, floating in the soup.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum.
Ask the fish head anything you want. They won't answer, they can't talk.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum.
I took a fish head from a Whiskey A Go Go. Didn't have to pay to get it in.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum.
Ah, yes, the fish head. Are you goat or fish head? Against it, fish head, 'cause fish head are fish.
Fish heads, are you goat or fish heads? Fish heads, eat them up, yum.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum.
They can't play baseball and don't play sweaters. They're not good dancers or no football.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum. Everyone
Rolling
sing
Point
along.
the number 3, drinking cappuccino and a Diet Red song with Green Jellÿ. Yeah!
Ah,
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum.
the roly-poly fish heads, eat them up, yum.
Celebration!
For Goat vs. Fish, Carrot Top from the Radioactive Chicken Heads.
Goat vs. Fish shares that link with you. That versus is on the Carrot Top YouTube channel. But while you're there, Missy Pickles, while you're there, why don't you subscribe to Goat vs. Fish on YouTube at youtube.com/GoatVsFish. And leave a comment and say, wow, what a great collaboration with Goat vs. Fish. You should do that again. You should do that again. And again. 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 That was Fish Heads, roly-poly Fish Heads, often played on the Dr. Demento show. Dr. Demento chose Goat by the verses. We met Goat at the LA Breakfast Club, and Dr. Demento on their verse day chose Goat. Oh, that reminds Goat vs. Fish. Today is LA Breakfast Club's 101st Mighty Verse Day celebration. Mighty Verse Day to the Breakfast Club for your 101st Verse Day. Goat vs. Fish is here doing the morning motivational. We were at the LA Breakfast Club last week, and this Wednesday's versus Goat vs. Fish is here, but we wish to wish a happy 100th Verse Day to the Los Angeles Breakfast Club. Are you goat or are you fish? And where's my breakfast? And where's Goat vs. Fish? Shouldn't Goat vs. Fish be there? Goat vs. Fish is here now. Goat vs. Fish is here. But we're celebrating you. We're celebrating you. 101. 101. 101. 101. One of us. One of us. Are you goat? Are you fish? Celebration Mighty Verse Day, Los Angeles Breakfast Blub Club. Last verses, it was Daniel DK's verse day, and now it's the Los Angeles Breakfast Club. It's always someone's verse day. Mudmore says toast versus eggs. Where's that little false verses? Toast and eggs go together like fins and legs. Toast and eggs like a goat and a fish is your favorite at breakfast time. Healthy dish, yeah. Toast and eggs, a toast and a huevo. Some like it crispy, some like it soft, yeah. Have them hard-boiled and have them fried. Toast and eggs, it's my morning surprise. I'd have it every day if I could, but inflation's causing all the prices to skyrocket. I can't even go to my favorite local diner anymore. What's happening in this universe? Toast and eggs used to be such a basic pair that anyone could access, and now it's not fair. It's not fair. I need my goat versus fish. I need my goat versus toast and eggs, yeah. They go together like a fish and a goat, inseparable, smashing their faces together like this.
Hey, live subject freak fish.
What about me? What about Senor Tomato? What about a tomato slice and your beefsteak tomato and your eggs and toast? You have to get some fruit in your diet or maybe some vegetable. I'm a Senor Tomato from a deep fried. We are on a news break. We're on a news break. And while we're on that news break, Goat vs. Fish, we're going to do some community review. Dragon Balls 325, are you in the verses? Dragon Balls 325, are you in the verses? Calling Dragon Balls 325, calling Dragon Balls 325. Chat to Goat vs. Fish. This is not the time for hesitation. Calling all verses. Calling Dragon Balls 325 to the verses. Calling Dragon Balls 325 to the verses. Are you Goat or are you Fish? It's me, Big Rig 250. It's Dragon Balls 325. Big Rig 250, have you been Dragon Balls 325 this whole verses? It's me, the Goat. Celebration for Big Rig Goat. Celebration for Big Rig Goat. Dragon Balls 325, you're being called to the verses. Well, listen, Dragon Balls 325 may not be here. But that's okay. Because we're still going to show you something pretty cool. You up for something pretty cool? You up for something cool?
I like cool.
You like cool? Just Yester versus Dragon Balls 325 was telling us how they were being distracted by musications. And here's evidence. Dragon Balls 325 has posted this in the Discord of Goat vs. Fish. And we're going to have a listen. What's Dragon Balls up to? That was Dragon Balls 325. Shredding it up in the musications. So, Goat and Fish, if you want to post your talents, into the Goat vs. Fish morning motivations, because we want to see what you're up to. We want to see your arts. We want to see your crafts. There's a few sections of the Discord. There's Goat, there's Fish, there's Goat vs. Fish General. There's merch. There's arts versus crafts, which is really Goat vs. Fish. We probably need to take some time to do some reorganization on the Discord, but the conversation is fairly light on the Discord, so if you have some talents you want to share with Goat vs. Fish, maybe a picture you drew or a song that you sang, or maybe you know how to spin 2 verses at once, and it's like, whoa! Be sure to post it in the Goat vs. Fish Discord. Goat vs. Fish posts a link to follow Goat vs. Fish in the link tree of Goat vs. Fish. You have to follow the link tree. This is to prevent Discord botting. Follow the link tree, and within the link tree, you'll find all kinds of ways to support Goat vs. Fish, including the Discord link. So we'll see you on Discord. Join Dragon Balls 325 in sharing your talents with Goat vs. Fish. We'd love to have you on the show. Appreciation, Dragon Balls, once again, for that amazing shred. Self-taught, they say. How about the Reddit of Goat vs. Fish? There is a Reddit of Goat vs. Fish as a matter of verses. Lysergic Freak Fish. Lysergic Freak Fish, are you a common Redditor? Are you into the Reddit? Reddit's a whole big verses. Some say it's the last page still on the internet. Reddit is a whole big verses. Sure, because we trust you. We can make you a Reddit mod of Goat vs. Fish, and you can just take it away. And you can post all kinds of verses on there. You can post YouTube videos on the Reddit of Goat vs. Fish. You can be the Reddit community master. But Goat vs. Fish did long ago. We did register with r/Goat vs. Fish. So if you're on Reddit, we have not used it in many verses, but if you're there, here's r/Goat vs. Fish. Are you Goat or Fish? r/Are you Goat or Fish? There's the Goat vs. Fish Reddit. So by all verses, join the Goat vs. Fish Reddit. And now back to the news. It's time for news Story number 3. We've seen goat faking injury. We've seen goat going for a hike. But what happens when the fish comes directly to you? What happens when fish comes to your town? You think that those fish are stuck in the sea, stuck in the river, stuck in the lake. But we're here to tell you that for Verse's sake, they're going to versus you wherever you are. The fish are coming to a town near you, and all they need is the faintest of excuse. And we have the evidence to prove it. Eel on the loose in Jersey. Look at the fish. Look at the fish. The fish is on the streets. The fish are on the streets. The fish are on the streets. Versus used to be that you could walk down the street and feel safe as a goat, but now there's fish on the streets. They're slithering, they're sliming, they're eeling, and yes, for those of you curious, as a matter of goat versus fish, an eel is a fish. It's a long fish, it's a slippery fish, and it goes. And some say they're even quite cute, but now the eels are in the street, and all it took was a little bit of the rain of the Sea of the Fish. When the Sea of the Fish falls from the sky down onto goat land, these are flotillas. These are flotillas of fish. They accumulation their seas into watery, floaty, billowy cloud technologies that rise up. They go over the mountains, they go over the lands, they deposit the Sea of the Fish down onto the land of the goat, and this can give the clever and industrious fish just the opening they need to get onto the land of the goat to versus the goat in the never-ending conflict that is goat versus fish, which could end up in a resolution of unification of goat and fish. But we notice here that the fish has gotten to this grate. The fish has approached this fence now on the ground. Here they are. As we can see, this fence is some kind of transition between this hewn and carved goat land and the sea. It's saying it's the land, but the land isn't great at taking the Sea of the Fish because a goat is a goat and a fish is a fish. They have different verses. So we're going to use this fence that has holes in it in order to capture the Sea of the Fish and try to take it away from the land of the goat. But maybe you should just let the Sea of the Fish be absorbed into the land of the goat so you can grow a tree. And then you can sit under the tree and philosophize with goat versus fish. And you can ask the tree if it is a goat or a fish and then not chop it down and turn it into a fence. But we don't think that that really occurred to them when they put this fence here. And now the fish is not only confused by the fence, but also has a giant play button over it that makes it kind of hard to see its face. And there's the fish! There's the fish! It's not a snake! It's not a snake! Let this be a warning to you. Eel is on the loose in Jersey. It's the Jersey eel. It's the Jersey eel. Goat versus fish leaves a comment. Goat versus fish leaves a comment. Now, this eel has come to the land to versus the goat. Clouds, as we have discussed in previous verses, are fish technology used to transport waters from the sea onto the land so fish can gain a fin hold in otherwise goat-controlled territory. Are you goat or fish? We post it. Goat versus fish. If you wish, we post the link to you. Of course, we want to support those contents that we put on Goat versus Fish. And while we're versing it, Goat versus Fish, will leave a comment here and say that goat was testing you the whole time to see if you were a fellow goat. When it saw that you were fish, it sprinted away, destroyed your rations, and ultimately owned you. Fish might want to think about some better preparation. And this fish did think of some better preparation and thought, hey, if I'm going to go onto the land, first, send the rain! Send the rain! The story of goat versus fish continues from verses to verses to verses. You can always find a through line with goat versus fish. Fish did not want to get out-versed by the goat again like it did in the previous hike, so it sent the rain to the land of the goat so it could have a stronger position in the verses. And now we move on to news story number 4. Feral goats spotted wandering streets of Llandudno. The goats have responded in a massive show of force. One fish came onto the land. The eel used the rain of the Sea of the Fish in order to try to gain some territory, and goat immediately went into crisis mode and responded by coming into the city to reclaim their territory from that fish. It elicited a huge response from goat. Now, some say that the response from goat was disproportional and that it was an unnecessary escalation by goat, but these goat clearly are wasting no verses getting back at that fish. Let's have a look at that verses.
Night sighting in North Wales as feral mountain goats were spotted roaming the streets at Llandudno. Visitor Andrew Dalgano captured the footage on Augusta Street at 11 p.m. He reported stumbling upon the animals foraging on residential hedges while he was out running an errand. The goats, distinguished by their long white hair and horns, appeared unfazed by human presence.
Yes, those goats are definitely distinguished by their long white hair and human horns. And can we say, have a look at that goat, Sunshine, with the giant play button on its face. That's not quite like those farm goats, is it?
That's an entirely different goat.
Big golden horns, big shaggy fur. This is a wild goat. This is a massive wild goat, and it's unfazed by your presence, and they just want to nibble on your hedges. They're nibbling on those hedges. They're foraging ahead, and they're looking for the fish. They're looking for the reported eel fish that's somewhere in the area.
They are believed to have descended from the Great Orme Headland, a common occurrence when the herd seeks food or shelter in the town below.
North Wales Live. And that reminds goat versus fish. Is a whale a goat or a fish? Maybe the North Wales are goat and the South Wales are fish. Maybe there's more than one kind of whale. Goat versus fish. We are going to leave a comment on it as you watch these goats. These goats heard report of a fish that made it onto the land and have descended from the mountain in order to find the fish, to fish the fish, well, to fish the fish indeed, to find the fish versus the fish and reclaim their territory. This footage sees them stopping for some rations, some emergency rations. But they will move out soon. For fish never stops its verses of goat. We post. Goat versus Fish posts the link to you, shares the link to you in case you want to like the comment of Goat versus Fish, respond to the comment of Goat versus Fish, or otherwise appreciation them for sharing this verses of goat. And that golden goat, why, it doesn't look too dissimilar from this goat. Dragon Balls sponsored this goat, and Dragon Balls had the mighty shredding that appeared on Goat versus Fish. The goat! So that was some glorious news of Goat versus Fish, some mighty news of Goat versus Fish. And we'll do one final news story of Goat versus Fish. Because the news just keeps on coming. The news just keeps on coming. The news just keeps on coming. Eel went onto the land to versus the goat, try to do a little reconnaissance, maybe even just take a little vacation. Goat descended from the mountains into the city in order to find that fish to versus it out of their territory. Fish took offense at that and returned versus again as Goat versus Fish continues to escalate throughout the entire region. What started off as a local conflict has now expanded throughout the world. And the fish say, hey, goat, if you are going to attack the fish that comes onto the land, then the fish are going to attack the goat that go out to the sea. It's a reverse versus. It's a reverse versus. And here we have it. Fishermen shocked when angry swordfish pierced the hull of their wooden boat. This fish has no time for a goat on a boat. It says, you want to come out here into fish territory? Well, we know how you treat the fish on the land of the goat. Well, you're going to get a piece of your own verses, and we're going to take a piece out of your verses, goat. We're going to take a piece out of your boat. Look at this fish. Look at this giant swordfish. It was bred for war. Piercing, piercing, piercing. Piercing at the boat, and you can see up there that there is a hole in the boat that had to be plugged. Repairs, goat making emergency repairs. Do they have the technology to repair the boat? If they don't, it might sink. If they don't, it might sink, and they'll find themselves at the bottom of the drink. Positive Vibes 1 week ago posts the following contextual information. There's no video evidence, just this picture. Fishermen, and we know that they're trying to catch the fish out there. They're not going out there so they can just say hi to the fish. Trying to catch those fish. Inaugural chèvre. Fishermen were enjoying a calm day at the sea when they felt a sudden, massive jolt shock their small wooden boat. To their disbelief, they discovered that an angry swordfish had rammed the vessel. Notice how they're applying goat language to fish there. Wouldn't we want to say that the angry swordfish pierced the vessel? They're trying to ascribe goat characteristics to this fish. In any verses, the swordfish had rammed the vessel with such speed and power that its bill had pierced straight through the solid timber hull. It was a terrifying reminder of the ocean's raw power. The crew had to act fast to patch the leak and get back to shore, leaving them with a jagged hole in the boat and an incredible survival story that sounds like a fisherman's tall tale, but it's completely true, and you can trust it because there's a picture of it and it's on the internet. and trust for pictures on the internet are at an all-time high. There's no way this is artificial intelligence. It's clearly a swordfish, and it's clearly a hole in the boat, and it's clearly a true versus. We believe it on Goat vs. Fish, but if you think that this is fishaganda, then you tell Goat vs. Fish. It could be fishaganda that is trying to convince you of the dangers of fish, or it could be goataganda trying to convince you of the dangers of fish. It really just depends on your verses. So Goat vs. Fish is going to like this year, and Goat vs. Fish will continue with the commentation. First, an eel was found in the cities using the rain as a means of slippery transportation. Then, mountain goat descended on the town to versus the fish. Fish did not take kindly to this harassment and began versusing the goat, who went out to sea. And as we can see, every versus has a consequence. And we think that's what we have learned from all of this. We think that's what we've learned from all of this here. Goat and fish. We think we've learned that in the mighty verses of Goat vs. Fish, every versus has a consequence. For every goat action, there is a fish reaction. For every fish motion, a goat will go out to the ocean to meet the fish, to give back to them the verses that was just given. You may think that goat's over there. You may think that fish is too far. There's no way that it can be goat versus fish. There's no way that the verses of that fish is going to influence that goat. But we tell you they do. Goat and fish, they communication, they whisper to one another, they feel with one another. They're in congregation with each other. So when you go out there and you've got your morning motivations and you're taking care of verses, know that your verses will have a consequence. Your verses will have a consequence. It may not be now. It may not, well, it actually would have to be later. So it'll be later. It'll be sometime later, or maybe it will be in the past if goat or fish develop some kind of time machine that allow them to exact retribution upon your verses before it ever happened, or maybe they'll just try to prevent you from doing the verses to start, which would prevent the offense from ever occurring, which would mean they wouldn't have to invent the time machine to go back to stop you. There will be consequences for your actions. There will be consequences for your actions, but do not despair. Do not despair. These goat and fish we have witnessed have entered a spiral of mutual distrust and disdain. But goat and fish, there is still time. There's still time in the rain. There's still time to find in that rain that came onto the land a beautiful unification of goat and fish. And that too will require action. That too will require reaction. So goat versus fish puts the verses to you. Shall it be goat versus fish? Or shall it be nification you? These are the decisions we get to make in goat versus fish, every single versus. Goat and fish, we've been lingering in this mighty versus for a long time, It's been going on for a week. And let Goat vs. Fish tell you that on Goat vs. Fish Thursday, tomorrow on Goat vs. Fish Thursday, we will have resolution of Goat vs. And we want to see your support. We want to see your support for fish. We want to see your support for goat. We want to see your support for unification of goat and fish. And as for the fence, well, you don't really have a chance, fence. Just give up now. Give up on your fancy ways and choose goat. Or choose fish. The Versus awaits. The Versus awaits with eager delight at your choice. It's time for another Patreon giveaway. Goat and Fish, I Can Fix Amber Heard has given Goat vs. Fish some gifts. Some gifts. Gifted Patreon subscriptions to the congregation of Goat vs. Fish. And as a matter of verses, they accidentally gift... Oh, Goat vs. Fish. They accidentally gifted a Patreon subscription, a 2-month-long Patreon patronage. So appreciation. Appreciation indeed. Appreciation indeed. Here at the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish, you may say, wow, well, what kind of exclusive content do I get on the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish? Well, really, the only exclusive content we have currently on the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish is that sometimes, ever so sometimes, you just get a little peek behind the fence at the verses of the unpaid intern of Goat vs. Fish, who tells you what's all happening and what's going on behind the verses of Goat vs. Fish. Listen, Goat vs. Fish is just here to bring you the verses, but there's managers and there's CPAs, and they all want a piece of Goat vs. Fish. So if you want to look behind the fence, you can join the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish, and maybe one versus will have exclusive Goat vs. Fish content. But for now, we want Goat vs. Fish to be available to all the goat and fish. So down with fences, down with fences. But if you do want to support Goat vs. Fish for 5, 10, or 20 versus American dollars a month, please join the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish. It's a great way to support Goat vs. Fish. If you don't have a Patreon account, maybe get one. Maybe get one and support Goat vs. Fish. Because no matter what Fence Bezos or Google wants to take from Goat vs. Fish, Patreon is not as bad as them. At least that's what the unpaid intern told us to say. Because there is no good or bad, there's only goat and fish. But we hope that provides you some motivation to support Goat vs. Fish on Patreon. Celebration. Where can I acquire a portion of Goat vs. Fish? Why, at the merch store of Goat vs. Fish. At the merch store of Goat vs. Fish, where you can order a towel of Goat vs. Fish or a mug of Goat vs. Fish, or something, or some other such verses, The link has been posted to you. So here we are. At the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish, where you can join either the Humble Congregation, the Elite Humble Congregation, or the Unification Congregation. Ben Birdperson, the Quacksnader, Jimmy Wrench, Mama Joe, Brahma Joe, Standard Average, Tugger Rugger, Hologram, Elder Grown, Uber Kitten, Pattisted, or eventually Gold, Karmic, Prue, Lawrence, Atro, Sourdough, Watt 9807, That One Bull Guy, Napoleon Doom, I Can Fix Amber Heard, and Drew. If you are a contentment creator, consider this a versus where you can have a little shout out too. Support Goat vs. Fish. Get your verses here, listed as the generous donors of patreon.com/GoatVsFish. And now Goat vs. Fish is going to look and to see, because Dragon Balls 325, were you able to claim your gifted membership? Because did you not, I Can Fix Amber Heard, send Goat vs. Fish a link to that gifted membership? Was it on the Instagram? Here we are. Goat vs. Fish found it. I Can Fix Amber Heard is gifting you 2 months access to Goat vs. Fish. Look at that. I Can Fix Amber Heard is gifting you 2 months of access to Goat vs. Fish. All you need is to use this link and claim it now. So in order to find out who gets access to this 2 months of Goat vs. Fish, we are going to do a marble race. Yes, Goat and Fish, we're going to do a marble race here in Goat vs. Fish. And we do realize that those of you who are on YouTube, and we do appreciation very much the healthy YouTube watch audience we have had on this stream. There seems to have been about 7 or so. So we're not going to tell you to stop watching on YouTube. We cannot tell you or direct you to watch on YouTube, but we certainly don't have to tell you to stop watching Goat vs. Fish on YouTube. But this marble race is something that can only be conducted, via Twitch. So, Goat and Fish, let's start that marble race. And let's go to the Marbles Diner, where we might find that eggs and toast, or we might find the 101st anniversary of the Breakfast Club. And so Goat vs. Fish wants you to type !play in the chat of Goat vs. Fish, !play in the chat of Goat vs. Fish to join this versus. And here we are. We're going to give you 5 minutes here to do this. And while you are typing !play in the Twitch chat of Goat vs. Fish, we are going to give you some sunshine time. It's become 10. It's time for sunshine to get their reprieve, but we're going to, as we say, give you 5 minutes to join this marble race of Goat vs. Fish. So !play in the Twitch chat to join. We're going to start there. We're going to set up a little verses like this. And to remind you that we've got marbles happening now. We are actually going to put marbles on the screen just down here during the sunshine time. Just there, just so you know it's all happening. And we are going to remember, this is for a Patreon. This is for a temporary 2-month Patreon gift of I Can Fix Amber Heard. We've got Sunshine Time. Sunshine Time live on It's Sunshine on Twitch. Goat and Fish. It's time for Sunshine, who will speak to you, and you can speak to Sunshine, have a little conversation. Here's your musication vessel, Sunshine.
Hello? What's up, congregation? How's it going? Oh, hi, Amber Heard. Hi, everybody. Been taking it a little easy on the musicians to give my hands a little bit of a rest. Because you're used to hearing me do. But my hands were wearing out a bit, so I thought I would give my hands a rest. You did your first stream 3 days ago? Oh, hello, Weed Pipe, Missy Pickles 80. How was your first stream, Amber Heard? I was going to sign up for the marble race, but then after he said that the winner gets the Patreon subscription, I'm like, it'll be fun to, have a fish victory for the Patreon, but I'd rather let you guys sort that out amongst yourselves. Hi, Little Creepy, 6198. Well, you guys are getting ready for the marble race. We'll go over some fundamentals of goat and fish. In the beginning, there was goat and fish. The goatfish There's no alpha, there's no omega. Only goat and fish. Well, piano, I just know piano as it is. I mean, guitar, it was easier, but piano, I like that I know what note is what the second I hit it. On the guitar, you have to like count strings and count frets to know what note is happening. So it makes it a little bit trickier. And that's Goat vs. Fish.
Goat and Fish, there are indeed only 25 seconds left to join this marble race for the Patreon of Goat vs. Fish. This is Sunshine. This is It's Sunshine time. Follow It's Sunshine on on Twitch. Follow It's Sunshine on Twitch. Live streams of It's Sunshine Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the marble race is on. The marble race is on, and we have only Weed Pipe, Fitzcraft, Missy Pickles, and Goat vs. Fish. They're the only ones who joined the verses. But that's okay. You had your chance to join. You had your chance to join Goat and Fish. Exclamation play for the marble race, and here comes Fitzcraft. Here comes Fitzcraft right out the gate. Fitzcraft is headed for that diner. We've got Goat vs. Fish, Missy Pickles. Missy Pickles, our latest congregation member, is in the verses too, and that's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Here we have the glorious Marbles Diner, where all of the Goat and Fish gather to enjoy some consumptions. And look at all of these previous trophies of previous honorable Goat and Fish. We sometimes like to go into the diner to see if there are any goat or fish in there. There surely are a lot of them. And, we see a goat. We see goat in the diner. We see goat in the diner. Let me in! Let me in! Well, in any verses, there's the goat ball. Not that flaming one. There's another one. There's trust us, there's goat. And here comes Weed Pipe. Here comes Weed Pipe. Going through the pipe. Weed Pipe is the first one to get through the pipe. Weed Pipe is in the lead, followed by Fitzcraft, followed by Goat vs. Fish, followed by Missy Pickles. Keep our Poke says, I think you can go in the order window. Perhaps we can, but we want to stay close to the action now. And here we see that Weed Pipe appears to be using the Uncle Joe Show fish ball. It's a rolling fish ball, and that fish rolls just as well as any other. Fitzcraft has just exited the fence. And there's Goat vs. Fish, and Missy Pickles 80 is a little behind, but let's not hold that against them. After all, it's their first versus here on Goat vs. Fish, and Weed Pipe has been versing in Goat vs. Fish for years now. Keep our Equipos spaced on the verses. They spaced on Goat vs. Fish. That's okay. Goat vs. Fish exists throughout all time and space, and if you're enjoying some relaxation and not joining the marble race, that's okay too. It just means that Weed Pipe might have a chance to claim that Patreon, but Weed Pipe is getting pushed back and back and back again. But Weed Pipe has broken through. Weed Pipe has broken through. Yes, Weed Pipe has at last broken through and has finished. Weed Pipe celebration. Weed Pipe celebration. Weed Pipe celebration. Weed Pipe wins the verses on the grass of the land. On the grass of the land, and then in comes Goat vs. Fish. Missy Pickles seems to have made it ahead of Fitzcraft. For now, Fitzcraft, Fitzcraft got yeeted, oh no. Fitzcraft, we await still your presence on the Goat vs. Fish Morning Motivational. We are ready when you are. We are ready when you are. We know you're a busy fish, We know you're trying to collect everything for the perfect verses, but you may not just get one chance. For all we know, you could get more than one chance. Whenever you're ready, we want to have you on Goat vs. Fish. And Missy Pickles finishes the verses. Applause for Missy Pickles. Missy Pickles versed hard and finished. We finished the verses. Weed Pipe, celebration! Celebration! Weed Pipe, do you accept the Patreon? Do you accept the Patreon subscription? Do you expect the Patreon subscription? In any versus Fish, Fish has won another Marlboro race. It's a 2-month subscription. Weed Pipe, do you accept the Patreon subscription? Are you ready to accept it? We need to know. We need to know. We need to know. I accept the subscription to Goat vs. Fish. Yes, Weed Pipe, yes. Then Goat vs. Fish is going to take that precious Patreon link from I Can Fix Amber Heard. We're going to take that precious Patreon link, and we are going to copy that link, and we're going to whisper it to you on Twitch. Okay. Okay, we're going to whisper it to you on Twitch. We're going to Twitch, and we are going to Weed Pipe, and we're going to whisper, and you may be able to hear the faint or not so faint sounds of gardening happening outside. So Goat vs. Fish is going to go to the whispers. We're going to go to Weed Pipe. Weed Pipe, there you are, there you are. And we have not made any whispers yet together on Twitch, so be on the lookout for Goat vs. Fish. This is Goat vs. Fish. Here is your 2-month Patreon subscription gift from I Can Fix. And for some verses, it's not showing us the conversation that we're having together on Twitch. Why? Why won't you show Goat vs. Fish? Why won't you show Goat vs. Fish? Yes, indeed. Weed Pipe, whisper. Weed Pipe, it's for some verses, it's not showing us that our chats are going through Weed Pipe. But we do know that the gift is going to you. Perhaps you could send a message to Goat vs. Fish. Perhaps you could send an Instagram message to Goat vs. Fish. We want to make sure you get it. If we post the link directly in the chat, then anyone could take it, Weed Pipe. Anyone could take it. So Weed Pipe, it's yours to claim. It's yours to claim. Hopefully you got the verses. Hopefully you got the verses. But if you did not, then we'll be sure to make send of it to you in some other way. One of the gifted Patreon subscriptions went to a goat, and this time it went to a fish. Goat and Fish, it's time to say farewell to our dear musication maker, Sunshine. Sunshine, thank you for joining Goat vs. Fish. Thank you for joining Goat vs. Fish. You may play yourself out if you wish. The verses will continue. We think the verses will continue here on Goat vs. Fish. We know there's just one more verses. There's just one more verses that Goat vs. Fish had to do. There was just one more critical verses that Goat vs. Fish had to do. So we're going to linger here with the congregation for just a verses longer. And we will say farewell to the glorious and mighty Sunshine.
Celebration. That was all me. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you on the next morning motivation. Appreciation, Sunshine.
Yay!
Celebration for fish.
Celebration for fish.
Sugar Skull says, did I miss anything? I was asleep. Well, we always miss something when we're asleep.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Now you're well rested. And now you're here for Goat vs. Fish. Appreciation for your services. Appreciation for your services, Sunshine. And we'll see you next verses. We'll see you next verses. Celebration. Celebration for sunshine. So now, Goat and Fish, it's you, the congregation, and Goat versus Fish, and we're here for you. We are here for you. So let's get chatting with Goat versus Fish. Let's get chatting with Goat versus Fish. We're going to enjoy this meditative silence of Goat versus Fish, although again we think we might still be able to hear it. Can you hear it, Goat and Fish? Can you hear the sound? Can you hear the sound of a leaf blower in the congregation? Listen. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Yes. Weed Pipe says, nice musications. You can hear it, says I Can Fix Amber Heard. I know that sound anywhere, says I Can Fix Amber Heard. Here's what you do. You get the whole studio of Goat versus Fish. You put sound insulation around the whole studio of Goat versus Fish. And still, those leaf blowers. Goat versus Fish. Here in Goat versus Fish's versus America, we ban leaf blowers. All they do is make sound and also actual pollution. And we just replace them with rakes. Sorry. No more leaf blowers. They have to leaf. They have to leaf Goat versus Fish. Hi, Goat versus Fish. How are you? I just woke up. Goat versus Fish is great. How are you? And are you Goat or are you Fish? You may have missed some things. You missed some news of Goat versus Fish, but you don't have to feel bad about that. That's okay. It's great that you got your sleep. It's great that you got your sleep. We all need our rest. We all need our rest. Well, we don't like all the sound of leaf blowing on Goat versus Fish. So we are going to play some thunder tracks in the background to try to mute it somewhat. So much for glorious silence. Sorry for not trying to... Yes, I can fix Amber Heard. Please, you can let Goat versus Fish... We're doing a lot of verses. We did see and we appreciate your reminders to Goat versus Fish. But your repetition is not necessary for Goat versus Fish. Sugar Skulls is Goat. Celebration for Goat. Your goat has been written in the mighty verses. I Can Fix Amber Heard says, sorry, not trying to repeat, but you did repeat, though. So we think you are. You think you are trying to repeat. Weed Pipe, did you get the link? So, Goat and Fish, we do have now another gift from I Can Fix Amber Heard, which is the gifted... Ah! Where's Sunshine? Sunshine's nowhere. Sunshine's gone. Sunshine's gone! You just have to trust Goat versus Fish. I Can Fix Amber Heard. You just have to trust Goat versus Fish. The glorious VIP viewing chair of Goat versus Fish. Where you get a mic all your own. And you even get some breakfast. We'll throw in some breakfast. We'll throw in some breakfast with your VIP. You get the crown. You get the crown with the VIP. Wow, what glorious treatment. What a glorious treatment. You even get laid as a VIP. You even get laid. You even get laid as a VIP. Where's the golden mic? Haha. The golden mic is somewhere. The golden mic was used by GoatVsFish when we were doing the walking around live streams of GoatVsFish. So we can always bring it back. You'll get a golden mic when you're a VIP. It all depends on the verses I can fix, Amber Heard. One little thing changes on GoatVsFish, and I can fix Amber Heard. Oh no, what happened? This is an organic, live, living stream. You have to just roll with the verses. You have to roll with the verses. And so, Goat and Fish. And so, a VIP has been gifted by I Can Fix Amber Heard, and GoatVsFish is going to gift that VIP to one fortunate patron of GoatVsFish. So as we have verses before, join that Patreon of GoatVsFish. Join that Patreon of GoatVsFish. Dragon Ball Street 25 says, I'm here. I took care of personal hygiene. We got the link of Patreon. Celebration. So yes, on next verses on GoatVsFish Thursday, we will take care of the patron. We will determine who is going to be the next VIP of GoatVsFish. We'll see if we can get another musical guest here on GoatVsFish Thursday. And we will at long last resolve this mighty verses. 11111 for goat, 11300 for fish. We've got a lot of goat, we've got a lot of fish, we've got a lot of radiations, we've got a lot of polls, we've got a lot of sound alerts. But it's not over until it's over. It's not over until it's over. GoatVsFish wishes to wish you appreciation and a shout out for Thunder Tracks for this musication. But before we go, Goat and Fish, GoatVsFish, we will leave the verses to you, the congregation. It's time for your final statements to GoatVsFish. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, something that you want motivation on, something you want for your motivation, now is the time. GoatVsFish is here to answer your verses on the morning motivational. And celebration to you, and celebration to you. And celebration to you, and celebration to Clutch NZ. Celebration to Clutch NZ, who followed GoatVsFish 23 minutes ago. This has been my first morning motivational. Make some noise for Little Creepy. It's their first morning motivational. Well, Little Creepy, at the risk of exposing ourselves to all of the harshest criticism that you could possibly have to offer, how do you like it? How do you like the morning motivational? You can think of it as an early morning motivational, or you could just think of it as a really, really, really late night morning motivational. Night, morning, goat, fish. Sometimes it just depends on your perspective. But yes, this is a whole other kind of situation. You've seen the shrine streams of GoatVsFish. You've seen the walking around streams of GoatVsFish. This is a bigger, brighter production of GoatVsFish. I Can Fix Amber Heard says, yeah, bring back the joy of painting. GoatVsFish does not even know what the fence you're talking about. So demanding. The fence sitter is so demanding to GoatVsFish. Bring this back. Do this, do that. GoatVsFish is feeling the motivation to do the morning motivation, and that is precisely what we're going to do. End of verses. Weed pipe has fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for weed pipe fish. And celebrations for Dragon Ball 325. You can never have enough celebrations on GoatVsFish. It was very motivational, GoatVsFish. It was very motivational, GoatVsFish. We are appreciation that you enjoyed the morning motivational. GoatVsFish does open the morning motivational with a motivational speech unto you. And when we have guests, Goat and Fish, we give them the verses to give a motivational unto you. But we hope that when we count the goat and fish, and when we celebration your choice of goat or fish, that you find this to be a motivational versus of goat versus fish. We hope that you find the continuation and the consistency of the morning motivation of goat versus fish to be a motivational versus. And when you express to goat versus fish here in the congregation, when you express your goals, when you express your fears, when you express your dreams to goat versus fish will listen, goat versus fish will listen. And we hope that we can provide you some motivation, but we also understand that many in the congregation simply want to watch and listen to Goat versus Fish, and that's a very fine versus, and we appreciate all the congregation for being here for Goat versus Fish, no matter what capacity that you are in. It is an appreciation, it is an appreciation. It is an appreciation. Weed Pipe says, I am now motivated. Celebration! Goat versus Fish has done it again. Goat versus Fish has motivated once again. Celebration, 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 celebration. Goat versus Fish has a motivation this versus. Goat versus Fish is going to get a trim. Once a month or so, Goat versus Fish gets a trim of Goat versus Fish. So when next you see Goat versus Fish, we'll be all cleaned up. Speaking of motivation and something to do and something to do, I Can Fix Amber Heard. We want you to know that Goat vs. Fish went onto the Bass Pro Shop web zone to see what the fence is going on with our order. We went to the mailbox of Goat vs. Fish, and it wasn't there, and we thought, well, this is a strange versus. It should have been there by now. For some unknown fencification, the order on BassProShop.com received cancellation, so Goat vs. Fish ordered it again. Goat vs. Fish ordered it once more. Goat vs. Fish ordered it once more, just so we could have it. We weren't charged in the first verses, but now Goat vs. Fish has ordered it once more, and when it arrives, then we will finally enjoy the Bass Pro Shop Light Celebration. This has been known to happen. There was a cancellation, but Goat vs. Fish, we reordered it, and now it's on its way again. So we looked into that versus. Any shrine time or walk around later? We are pondering walking around with Goat vs. Fish later this versus. After all, we are still trying to do YouTube accumulation hours of Goat vs. Fish. But the first versus that Goat vs. Fish must do is that Goat vs. Fish must make sure that we have enough timing to get the haircut and beard trim of Goat vs. Fish. And that does depend on the schedule of Goat vs. Fish. Tony the Dishwasher 7 says, legend. Welcome, Tony the Dishwasher. The legend of Goat vs. Fish starts with you. And how are we doing, Tony the Dishwasher 7? Welcome back to Goat vs. Fish. It seems that you have been here on Goat vs. Fish before. You've been following since May 22nd, 2021. You were previously subscribed for 2 months. And once a versus some time ago, you cheered at least 100 bits to Goat vs. Fish. Perhaps your name was changed, or perhaps it has simply been so many years that we do not recall. But look at this. Viva la Vagine says this to Goat vs. Fish. Yay, with the versus blessing, I've aced my exam. Celebration! You aced your exam. You've done it. Ace, 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 ace. You aced your exam. And you have done the proper verses, Viva. You have done the proper verses. You aced your exam, and you thank Goat vs. Fish. Always thank Goat vs. Fish. By the grace and the blessing and the morning motivation of Goat vs. Fish. Your exam has been aced. And you're not the first one to ace an exam thanks to Goat vs. Fish. There has also been Wow Mom, who aced an entire educational program thanks to Goat vs. Fish. And now they dissect dead people for a living. Celebration! 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 Tony the Dishwasher says, happy to see you're still going. I have always been a fan of fish, but I do appreciate the goat. Celebration for fish. We'll put you down for fish. We'll put you down for fish with the verses like that. We are counting the Goat versus Fish. Yes, it's been a long versus Tony the Dishwasher. Goat versus Fish has verses on Instagram and YouTube. Tony the Dishwasher, we have a Patreon of Goat versus Fish. If you want to join the Patreon even for free, become a free member of the Patreon of Goat versus Fish. There are many ways to support Goat versus Fish, and we hope that you can. There's the Book of Faces of Goat versus Fish. There's the TikTok of Goat versus Fish. We really do hope that you support Goat versus Fish in whatever way is most convenient for you, because we hope to see you out there in the verses. We hope to see you out there in the verses. Goat versus Fish is continuing. We have these glorious keys. Let's Goat versus Fish. Maybe Goat versus Fish will groove out on them musications for a while. The Big Silly 94. Damn, that's a heater right there. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Checking now the schedule of Goat versus Fish. Checking now the schedule of Goat versus Fish. It's Wens versus Goat versus Fish. Oh, that's sooner than we thought. That's sooner than we thought, but it's not too soon. We can afford to do a little musications. We can afford to do a little musications with you. Goat versus Fish refuses to sit on that fence. Goat and Mitch, you may be enjoying this groove. You may be enjoying this groove. It may be getting boring to you, but we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again because we're going to play over it just for fun, just for funsies. And we think that will be our final versus here on Goat versus Fish. The Big Silly says, "That's good. I was having some pain earlier, but it's easing up on me. Got this weed strain called Florida Oranges, and it really helps ease my pain with the muscles tension and spasm." Wow. Those who like weed really like Goat versus Fish. They really seem to enjoy Goat versus Fish. They really enjoy Goat versus Fish. So let's, but we are pleased to hear that you're feeling ever so slightly more superior. So let's play that thunder track one more time and Goat versus Fish. We'll jam over it. We'll jam over it a bit, see what we can do. And that's a versus. And that's a versus. We have the Big Silly says, thank you. Also, what should I call you, Goat vs. Fish? I think it's the absurdity that us pot smokers like about the Goat vs. Fish. Plus, he's a super chill guy. That's exactly what they all say about Goat vs. Fish. That Goat vs. Fish is a super chill guy. Just look at how chill is Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish, so mellow, so low-key, so not intense at all. Celebration! Celebration. What should you call Goat vs. Fish? What should you call Goat vs. Fish? You should call Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish. You should call Goat vs. Fish, Goat vs. Fish. That's what you should call Goat vs. Fish. And the more you call Goat vs. Fish, Goat vs. Fish, the more Goat vs. Fish brings the verses to you. I love improv. I played jazz instrument trumpet back when I was in school. Being able to jam is such a fun thing to do. Is that what you call that? Is that what you call a jam? What Goat vs. Fish just did there? Goat vs. Fish, it was, well, we appreciation that your enjoyment of Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish, you can call it a jam. Goat vs. Fish just likes to play. Goat vs. Fish just likes to play, and we like to hear what the keys have to say when we impress Goat vs. Fish upon them. There is so much that Goat vs. Fish could learn. There's so much that Goat vs. Fish could do. Goat vs. Fish plays some tunes. Goat vs. Fish used to play more tunes here on the Morning Motivational. But now that we've got Sunshine on the backup, and then the streams are also shorter now on the Morning Motivational. There's 2 hours, 2 to 2.5 hour streams of Goat vs. Fish. So we start thinking, okay, we have to count the goat and fish, and we have to do our morning celebrations. We have to cover some news of Goat vs. Fish, talk to the chat of Goat vs. Fish. So there's not as much time for Goat vs. Fish to simply say, okay, let's play musications for 1 entire hour, and then we'll do some other verses during the living stream. So if Goat vs. Fish wants to have musications with Sunshine, we think that we have to say, we have to think about the morning motivation. Goat vs. Fish is really pondering this morning motivational situation. And we are pondering that Goat vs. Fish, we could have designated verses. We could have designated verses. We have 4 morning motivations in a verses. We know that we want news. We want news of Goat vs. Fish. One of the verses should be covering news stories of Goat vs. Fish. Maybe lots of news of Goat vs. Fish, lots of Instagram stories and verses like that for Goat vs. Fish. And of course, if there's big news of Goat vs. Fish, we could cover it right away. But that there's one verses like this one today where it was mostly news of Goat vs. Fish, and that's a verses. We could have another verses where it's mostly musications. You could have a musication versus where Goat vs. Fish brings out the guitar of Goat vs. Fish, and Goat vs. Fish plays some songs. But Goat vs. Fish musication could also be a segment on Goat vs. Fish Morning Motivation. We just have to put a whole verses here right in front of Goat vs. Fish. That's like, okay, you do the morning celebrations, you count the goat and fish, and then you do a marbleization race, and then you sing a song of Goat vs. Fish. Even if it's just one song of Goat vs. Fish, it can be very easy to get swirled up in the verses and to have the conversation and to linger about and to do the improvisation and to have the goat versus the fish and to sing songs about if eggs and toast are goat or fish, or to do the shrine time with Goat vs. Fish. There's so many verses of Goat vs. Fish. But if we want to play some musications with you, and we want to learn some songs with Sunshine, then Goat vs. Fish, we need to refocus upon that verses to bring you some more musications here in the morning motivations. But we could have a whole verses that is dedication to musication, of course, but then we might have a guest on Goat vs. Fish. We might have a guest on Goat vs. Fish, and that could change the whole entire verses. And then, of course, we want one verses that's all just about the mighty verses. And we want to do the polls, and we want to do the marble races, and we want to do the make some sounds for the goat and the fish, and it's all just about the mighty verses itself. Goat and fish, there's so much Goat vs. Fish we have to bring you, and this is to say nothing of the philosophications of Goat vs. Fish. This is to say nothing of just Philosophizing with Goat vs. Fish for hours upon hours, where you can join Goat vs. Fish on the walking around outside streams, and you can just philosophication with Goat vs. Fish. There's so much Goat vs. Fish. There's so much Goat vs. Fish. There's so much Goat vs. Fish, and it's a celebration that there's so much Goat vs. Fish. And it's a celebration that you all want more Goat vs. Fish. So when you are saying, hey, Goat vs. Fish, do this, hey, Goat vs. Fish, do this, know that Goat vs. Fish, we are doing our mightiest verses to bring you all the Goat vs. Fish that we can, to bring you all the Goat vs. Fish we can, and we appreciate your patience with Goat vs. Fish. As of now, there's an editor who's working with Goat vs. Fish. We have told them we want you to go into the unification celebration, and we want you to make 2 YouTube videos of Goat vs. Fish. We want one of them to be Unification Celebration, the wine and cheese cut. And it's just a cut of all the wine and cheese bits, and it's just all the wine and cheese segments, all compiled into one glorious wine and cheese verses. So you can watch the wine and cheese verses on YouTube whenever you wish. And then they'll make another verses, and it's called the banana cut. And it's all just bananas on Goat vs. Fish. It's Goat vs. Fish going bananas during the Unification Celebration. So we're bringing you more Goat vs. Fish, and a book of Goat vs. Fish, and a book of the sayings of Goat vs. Fish, and the YouTube shorts of Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish has been editing YouTube shorts and putting them on YouTube and the Instagram and the Book of Faces and TikTok. It's been non-stop Goat vs. Fish. It's been non-stop Goat vs. Fish. So we appreciate your support of Goat vs. Fish, and we appreciate your patience with Goat vs. Fish. Don't even want to know what's on my mind. Put that on the list of reminders for Goat vs. Fish. Hey, I can fix Amber Heard. Can you put that on the list of reminders for Goat vs. Fish? 2 reminders to go on the list of reminders. And did you ever share that list of reminders with Goat vs. Fish? Did you share your Gmail list of reminders with Goat vs. Fish? GoatVsFish@gmail.com. We need to put publish on my mind on Spotify. And then there's also lyrics for 3 little fish. You can put those both. You can put those both on the list of reminders for Goat vs. Fish. And appreciation for sending it to GoatVsFish at GoatVsFish.com. This is we asked you to make a Google document. We asked you to make a Google Drive document. We did not ask you to make a document that is just a document that you mail to Goat vs. Fish. Okay, so it's a Google Drive document, so share it with GoatVsFish at gmail.com. Appreciation. And then put on it lyrics for 3 little fish and publish on my mind on Spotify. We love giving I Can Fix Amber Heard things to do because I Can Fix Amber Heard always wants something to do. They always want something to do. They want to remind Goat vs. Fish of something. They want to make a suggestion to Goat vs. Fish. So now Goat vs. Fish is going to get that fence sitter to verse for Goat vs. Fish. Appreciation for doing your best. That's all we can ask, apart from are you goat or fish, which we will also ask every verses. Are you goat or are you fish? Self-addressed stampled notes coming to Goat vs. Fish. Self-addressed stampled notes coming to Goat vs. Fish. That's an interesting verses. Goat vs. Fish. Self-addressed stampled notes coming to Goat vs. Fish. Well, we'll just have to see. It sounds like you're mailing something to Goat vs. Fish. Sounds like you're mailing something to Goat vs. Fish. You can mail your fan mail to Goat vs. Fish. Fan mail and gifts to Goat vs. Fish. Appreciation. And this is to say nothing. This is to say something of all of the old live streams of Goat vs. Fish. There are so many ancient live and living streams from the fence times and even before of Goat vs. Fish that are just lurking, lingering hours and hours of Goat vs. Fish that are all just on the YouTube of Goat vs. Fish. And there are some glorious bits in there, we are sure. So we need to just hand them to some editor and throw them $1 million verse American dollars and just say, watch all of this and find the best verses and then publish them again for us all to verses, including the one chip. I would like to mail Oban 14. You can mail Oban 14 to Goat vs. Fish. Who's going to stop you? Not Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish won't stop you from doing that if that's something that you wish to do. Did everyone see Goat vs. Fish update to recent post on OnlyFish? Yes, Goat vs. Fish. Yes, we were considering making an OnlyFans of Goat vs. Fish to show only feet and also pictures of goat and fish. The versus wheel. We have done the Wheel of Verses. We used to have a segment called Wheel of Verses where we would put a bunch of different segments on the Wheel of Verses. We could bring back the Wheel of Verses as another show segment. Maybe Goat versus Fish. Yes, we need to just make all of these segments, and maybe every week of the Goat versus Fish Morning Motivational. It's not like the same week, but then sometimes once a month, Wheel of Verses. And then do we do the morning celebrations? Do we play a musication? Do we cover a news? Do we do a marble race? Do we do a poll? Do we do a meditation? Do we do a philosophication? And we spin the Wheel of Verses to determine what's going to happen next on Goat versus Fish. That's certainly a format of Goat versus Fish game shows, Goat versus Fish call-in streams. We have been doing more call-in streams. And Goat vs. Fish has received a notification that Grumplestiltskin subscribes to Goat vs. Fish on Kick. What an unexpected versus. Appreciation. Goat vs. Fish is not going live on Kick. Only Fins indeed. All that much, if ever. But Goat vs. Fish has been live on there before. It's kick.com/GoatVsFish. And maybe after we have achieved YouTube monetization, then maybe we'll think about doing some verses on Kick. But first, it's YouTube monetization for Goat versus Fish, and that's versing well, But we do appreciate your subscription to Goat versus Fish on Kick. And Paul C10, thank you for following Goat versus Fish. Paul C10, welcome. Paul C10, this is Goat versus Fish. It's the mightiest verses in the universe. Much more the mightiest verses on Twitch. Paul C10, are you goat or are you fish? We've heard of Paul C4. We have not heard of Paul C10. Paul C10, we'll say it again. Paul C10, are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or are you fish? Is the lyrics to Three Little Fish something you need to post on Spotify too, or separate? All you need to do is make it written what Goat versus Fish said here. Separate entry. Lyrics for Three Little Fish. That's all you have to make written. Goat versus Fish knows what that means. Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish has some recordings of some instrumentations for a verses of Green Jellÿ. That's like, and the third little fishy, grade A tuna. Daddy was a rockfish, big kahuna. Sort of like that. And then we do the Three Little Pigs, but it's all the Three Little Fish, and then we do the verses. So we've got that verses that we want to do. Keepa or Kipo says, I'm currently in a verses with Korean barbecue lunch. Kimchi is hitting. Spicy versus. Spice-tacular. Spice-tacular. BBDH187 going for fish, going hard in for fish. Everything is Goat versus Fish. Everything is Goat versus Fish. Fish limericks. Fish limericks, once again, these are the kind of verses. We want your contribution. Join the Discord of Goat versus Fish. Join the Discord of Goat versus Fish. The link is in the link tree, which we just post here to you. You say, make cookies of Goat versus Fish. Make art of Goat versus Fish. Make a book of sayings of Goat versus Fish. Make a song of Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish encourages you, the congregation, to do just that. Express your love of Goat versus Fish in your own creations, just as Rob Boss says that anyone can paint a picture. Goat versus Fish is here to tell you that anyone can do Goat versus Fish. Perhaps you are on the fence about your own creativity. Perhaps you just need some kind of fence-cuse to get off of the fence and to do that drawing or make that painting or play that song or do that physical activity or to go for that walk or to write that poem. Maybe you need some inspiration. Why not let Goat versus Fish be your inspiration? Why not let your love of Goat versus Fish be your inspiration? And then if someone says it sucks, you can just say blame Goat versus Fish. What do you expect? It's just a poem about a goat versus a fish. What, you thought it was going to be great? It wasn't my idea anyway. It was Goat versus Fish. It's all Goat versus Fish. My next poem will be better. Blame Goat versus Fish. Why have you forsaken me, Goat versus Fish? Sort of like that. It would be great. be great. And with that versus, GoatVsFish is going to wish you a fine celebration. Oh, wait, a versus. Blackstone 514 subscribes to GoatVsFish. They're all going to laugh at you. Ziggy Bungwa is fish. Look who's coming into GoatVsFish at this late versus. I'm sending the doc now. Appreciation. Remember, we're not asking you to mail the document to GoatVsFish. We're asking you to share a Google Drive doc with GoatVsFish, so GoatVsFish can be an editor and all of that. Versus Blackstone 514 is a tier 1 subscriber again to GoatVsFish. Blackstone 514, welcome back to GoatVsFish. It's so great to have you black on GoatVsFish. Blackstone 514, are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or are you fish? Ziggy Bungwa says, sorry, just got here for fish. You don't have to be sorry. We are pleased that you are here with GoatVsFish. GoatVsFish is getting up early these verses for the morning motivational. Now that's a whole other verses. Your fish has been written on GoatVsFish. GoatVsFish, we've got the morning motivationals, and that's a nice, fun, and consistent verses, and we like you being able to wake up and know that it's GoatVsFish. And we like you being able to wake up and know that even if you didn't wake up to watch GoatVsFish in the morning, that GoatVsFish will be there for you in the afternoon and in the evening. But GoatVsFish has pondered that, yes, we should do GoatVsFish evening recreationals. Maybe GoatVsFish should do some evening recreational live streams. Of course, we have been doing evening recreational live streams. We've been doing living streams. We've been doing the walking around streams on YouTube and all of this. And, of course, GoatVsFish has been doing much of this in the pursuit of 3,000 watch hours on YouTube. So perhaps after we have achieved the 3,000 watch hours on YouTube, we will take all of this information and then we will distill it into an even further refined schedule of GoatVsFish. And maybe, just maybe, once a month, once a week, at some verses. We're preparing now for Hell's Heroes. Maybe now GoatVsFish will do an evening recreational once again here with the goat and the fish, and it's less of a motivational and more of just a recreational. Let's have some fun. The verses are done. Blackstone 514, appreciation for the subscription to GoatVsFish, and Blackstone 514 has gone goat. Blackstone 514, what is your favorite color? We can make your goat a color on GoatVsFish. Appreciation for your subscription to GoatVsFish. We appreciate your support to GoatVsFish. We do. An evening recreational. That could be a fun versus. A fun evening recreational with GoatVsFish. And there are many fans of GoatVsFish that might not be here. You say black, if not dark blue. Well, we can do some kind of blue. We can do some kind of blue. Will it be dark blue? Well, it's going to be blue. It's going to be blue. And it might not be as dark as you want, but it's going to be blue. As a matter of verses, that's what it's going to be, and you just have to accept GoatVsFish. You just have to accept GoatVsFish. You just have to accept a blue note, a blue goat. We've got a whole army of blue goat over here. Blackstone 514 with the goat scription. Hey, get your face out of that goat's tail. Leave space for your fellow goat. Celebration for goat. Appreciation for the goat scription, support of GoatVsFish. So GoatVsFish has preparations to do, metaphorically dark, yes. Blackstone 514 with 2 gifted verses. Blackstone 514 with 2 gifted verses. Blackstone 514 with 2 gifted verses. And you know what that means? That means the fish army has been ever growing. But Blackstone 514 with the 2 gifted verses. Blackstone 514 with the 2 gifted verses. We're adding a couple of goat. You want a black goat? Here's a black goat for you. Here's a goat. This black goat is joining the verses. This black goat is joining the verses. Yes. Shiny black goat. Get in the verses of Goat versus Fish. Get in the verses of Goat versus Fish. And another one for Blackstone. Another black goat. How about this? How about this? Here's another goat. Here's another goat for the verse. Another goat for the verses. Another black goat. Mostly. Blackstone 514. There's 1 minute left in the hype train. Hey, who wants to give 150 bits to Goat versus Fish and maybe do a level 2 hype train? Who cares about hype trains? Who cares about arbitrary goals when you could make them up for yourselves? Who cares? Lysergic with 151 and hype training level 2. We're still hype. We're still hype on Goat versus Fish. Fish strike back. Fish strike back at Goat. Oh, you thought this was just keeping a hype train going? No, Blackstone. This was the mockery of Lysergic Freak Fish, saying, oh, you want 2 gifted subs for Goat? Well, then we're just going to add insult to injury because Fish have the bits. Fish have the bits. 451 for Fish. 451 for Fish. 1,100, 451 for Fish. And a fish blub of triumph. A fish blub of triumph. 501, 501 now. 11,501 now for the Fish. And the Fish are showing no signs of stopping. Tyrus with the 200 bits for Fish. 11,701 for Fish. 11,701 for Fish. Comes in Fish Tyrus. Comes in Lysergic Freak Fish, responding to Blackstone 514 with the 2 gifted verses to Goat versus Fish. And now the Goat and Fish, the tensions. There was a mild ceasefire on Goat versus Fish, but now the Goat versus Fish is ramping up again, A mighty versus indeed. A mighty versus indeed, yes. The Goat and Fish, they conserve their energies. The Goat and Fish, they do their relaxation. They say, no. Like a goat and a fish out in an old western. Pistols at dawn. Fin at their side, hooves at their side, waiting for the other to make the first move. For they know if they move too early, if they move too late, it will all be over. They're headed for the clover. But sooner or later, the tension builds. It becomes unrestrainable. The fence is unobtainable. The fence cannot stop Goat versus Fish. And as the tension builds from behind the fence, soon enough, the verses of Goat versus Fish breaks out. And we've got 2 gifted verses from Blackstone 514, who returns verses. Goat returns verses to Fish. 500 for Goat. 500 verses for the Goat. And the Goat say, no, Fish. The Goat have returned verses. Leaving them at 11,611 bits now for the Goat. This has been accumulation over almost a whole entire week of Goat versus Fish. 11,611 for Goat, 11,701 for the Fish. But when you add those 2 gifted subs and Blackstone 514 with 200, Tyrus, Blackstone 514 is stealing your verses. Tyrus doubled the verses with 200 bits. Blackstone 514 double the verses, and it's 1,811. Look at the symmetry. Look at the glorious symmetry of Goat. 1,811. The amazing symmetry of Goat versus the It's not quite as symmetrical, is it, Fish? It's not quite as symmetrical. We've got a palindrome on Goat. We've got a palindrome on Goat, and we have reflective symmetry on Goat. Fish, not so much. Goat is suddenly outmaneuvering Fish. Fish has been in the lead, has been enjoying a lead in the bits now for several verses. Fish has been enjoying a lead in the bits and has been enjoying a lead in the subscriptions. But now, Blackstone 514 comes into the verses and tries to change all that, because their verses are fat. And it's 1,811. It's 11,811 versus 11,701. There are 5, 6, 7 subscriptions for the Fish. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 subscriptions for the Goat. And there's 3 marble races for Fish and 2 for Goat and 2 for the fans. And she's a killer TTV with 100 bits. She's a killer TTV with 100 bits for Fish. She's a killer with 100 bits for Fish. And did we hear another versus? We heard 100 bits for Fish. And Lysergic Freak Fish with 210 for Fish. Lysergic with 210 for 11911, and says the Fish said, we can match your symmetry, Goat, any verses, and it will be a greater symmetry. It'll be 1, 1, 9, 1, 1. Someone call 911, Oh, my verses. It's 911 on Goat versus Fish. It's a Fish 911. The Goat, the Tower of Goat has been struck by Fish. 11,911 on Goat versus Fish. The Fish say, hey, Goat, we can do your symmetry, but fence your symmetry. We're done with 11s. With 100 from She's a Killer TTV, we are now squarely in 12,000 territory. We are 1, 2, 0, 1, 1. 1, 2, 0, 1, 1. 1, 2, 0, 1, 1. 1, 2, 0, 1, 1. 1, 2, 0, 1, 1, but Blackstone's not done! Blackstone's not done! The Goat. Blackstone with 300, and the treasures and the pleasures of Goat versus Fish. Oh, the treasures of Goat versus Fish. Yes, the gains. The stakes are raising ever higher, Goat and Fish, and the stakes are higher than any fence post. 300 for Goat, 300 for Goat. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1 versus 1, 2, 0, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1 versus 1, 2, 0, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 0, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 0, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 0, 1, 1. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 0, 1, 1. She's a Killer TTV, and it's an even versus, It's 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. It's 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. It's 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. Goat versus Fish is having fun. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. Wash the taste of chalk out of your mouth, Goat versus Fish. We've got a long versus. Ahead of us. Celebration. Delicious chalk. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. It's an even versus. We've got 6 Goat and Fish. We've got 5, 6, 7 subscriptions for Fish. 4 subscriptions for Goat. But the bits are even now. Now! The bits are even now! Even now, the bits are even now. And wait a versus, we had a Kick subscription. We did have a subscription on Kick. Who was that? Grumplestiltskin. Are you goat or are you fish? Grumplestiltskin. Are you goat or fish? Grumplestiltskin. Is Grumplestiltskin in the verses? Is Grumplestiltskin in the verses? Because Grumplestiltskin had a Kick subscription to Goat versus Fish. Grumplestiltskin had a subscription to Goat versus Fish. If Grumplestiltskin's in the verses, then we want to know, are you goat or are you fish? Because we'll count your subscription. We will count your Kick subscription right here, right now on Goat versus Fish. We'll count it right here, right now on Goat versus Fish. We'll count it right here, right now on Goat versus Fish. Oh, no! Oh, no! We'll count it right here on Goat versus Fish. We'll count it right here on Goat versus Fish. You trying to fence me, man? Are you trying to get fenced? It's all happening right here, right now on Goat versus Fish. On Goat versus Fish. We're simmering down, Goat and Fish. The Goat and Fish are simmering. The Goat and Fish are simmering. Goat has advanced their position. What once was a lead by the Fish, Blackstone has closed the gap. Blackstone has closed the gap. Is that a character from The Big Lebowski? You said it, man. Nobody fenced with the Jesus. Man, you tell those fence sitters down at the league office, man. I don't freaking care. It don't matter. It don't matter to Jesus. I'll freaking verse you any day. I'll freaking verse you any day. I'll freaking throw you out. You'll freaking give me a bad name. It's Christ on Christ violence. Blackstone 514 with 100 bits. Blackstone 514 with 100 bits. Blackstone 514 with 100 bits. 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. And now it's and. Say it with me now. Say it with me. It's 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 1 1 1. And She's a Killer TTV returns versus the Fish versus the Goat. The Fish versus the Goat. Fish, 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 fish. Goat versus Fish. It's a goat and a fish, and they have a little verses. One's a goat and one's a fish, and they have a little verses. She's a Killer TTV with 100 bits for fish. With 100 bits for fish, and it's 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1. That's an easier verses. 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 1. That's like that Thunder Tracks verses. Let's do that with the Thunder Tracks verses. Let's bring that back. Let's bring that back. Here we go. Goat versus fish in the his. Goat versus fish now with the bit. 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 2 1 1 Oh, 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1 Bleed, 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 blub, 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 blub. Bleed, blub, blub, bleed, bleed. Bleed, blub, blub, bleed, 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 blub, blub, bleed, bleed. Bleed, blub, blub, bleed, bleed, blub, bleed, blub, blub, bleed, bleed. Bleed, blub, blub, bleed, bleed, blub, bleed, blub, blub, bleed, bleed. Bleed, blub, blub, bleed, bleed, blub, bleed, blood, blub, bleed, bleed. Bleed, blub, blub, bleed, bleed, blub, blub, bleed, 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 blub, blub, bleed, bleed, blub, bleed, blub, blub, bleed, bleed. Goat and fish. Goat, fish, fish, goat, fish, fish, goat, goat. Goat, fish, goat, fish, fish, goat, goat. Goat, fish, goat, fish, goat, fish, fish. Goat, fish, goat, fish, fish, goat, goat. Goat, fish, goat, fish, fish, goat, goat. Goat, fish, goat, fish, fish, goat, goat. Goat, fish, goat, fish, goat, goat. Goat, fish, goat, fish, fish, goat, goat. Goat, fish, goat, fish, goat, goat. Goat, fish, goat, fish, fish, goat. Goat, fish. Goat, fish, goat, fish. Goat, fish. Goat, fish, goat, fish, fish, goat, goat. Goat. Goat, fish, goat, fish, goat. Goat, fish, goat, fish, fish, goat, goat. Goat, fish, goat, fish, fish, goat, goat. Goat, fish, goat, fish, goat, goat. Yeah! That's a versus! That's a versus! That's a versus! Oh, my versus, she's a killer TTV! And Blackstone 514 exchange versus again! 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1. And that's a fine versus. And that's a fine versus. You see, Goat and Fish, it's all inspiration for Goat versus Fish. It's all inspiration for Goat versus Fish. It's all inspiration for Goat versus Fish. We appreciation these contributions to Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish has to get a haircut. Goat versus Fish has to get a haircut. Need to get a little trim of limb. Howdy, y'all, Bud Morgan. You're an inspiration for us. You're an inspiration for us, Goat versus Fish. This has been a glorious versus. The versus does not end. The versus continues. Here's the current state of the versus. 1 2 2 1 1 2 1 2 2 1 1. 7 subs for Fish. 4 subs for Goat. Radiation's polls. The poll on YouTube, the YouTube poll, is going Goat again. 35% for Fish, 41 for Goat, 12 for Unification, 12 for Fence. Goat are dominating in these polls. They're dominating in the YouTube polls. There's a poll in the chat on YouTube every versus, and though fish often come out in bigger numbers here on Twitch, the polls are just being totally, it's totally versus by GOAT. That's another purple pull. That's another purple pull for GOAT. Appreciation to She's a Killer TTV, Blackstone 514, and Lysergic Freak Fish for their glorious bits, subscriptions, and contributions to GOAT vs. Fish. That made for a very, very epic and beautiful versus. At least GOAT vs. Fish. Between them all, it was a versus of over 1,000 bits, maybe almost 2,000 bits. With those subscriptions, at least 2,000 bits. Before we go, GOAT vs. Fish, always another versus before we go. We're going to show you. People tomorrow are going to be like, what happened? Well, that's why you just have to watch GOAT vs. Fish perpetually, forever, at all times, and without ever stopping. GOAT vs. Fish is going to now go to YouTube of GOAT vs. Fish. Go to YouTube of GOAT vs. Fish. Oh, by the verses, GOAT vs. Fish wants to know, not just compared to yester versus. Oh, that's the sound of. Welcome to another GOAT vs. Fish morning motivational with the one true versus GOAT vs. Fish. And thanks, GOAT vs. Fish. Thanks, we needed that. GOAT vs. Fish. Yes, we wanted to show you some GOAT vs. Fish stats. Some GOAT vs. Fish stats. YouTube stats of GOAT vs. Fish. You always want to know. You always want to know what's going on the YouTube of GOAT vs. Fish. And now you can. And now you can. And now you can know about that. Now you can know about that. Shall we remove this versus? Let's try removing that versus. Okay, GOAT vs. Fish. Lock that versus. The web of GOAT vs. Fish. GOAT vs. Fish hotline. And then, well, what's this?
I just want to catch my fish.
Oh, we know. Oh, we know. Oh, my verses. GOAT vs. Fish. GOAT vs. Fish. Ah! They're everywhere. They're everywhere. And we're already here. So here we are, GOAT and Fish. The statistics of GOAT vs. Fish, the analytics of GOAT vs. Fish. Watch hours. Watch hours did decline somewhat. However, we were not shrining all the time like we were in previous verses. But we still have a very healthy 54, 64, and 35 watch hours on the YouTube of GOAT vs. Fish over the previous verses. And we can see that if we go into the earnings section of GOAT vs. Fish, we can see that we have already accrued 2,187 valid watch hours. We're almost done. We also like the televerses of GOAT vs. Fish screaming ah into the void. We believe we have that for you. 2,187 valid watch hours of GOAT vs. Fish out of 3,000. It's just within reach, GOAT and Fish. And remember, this was showing as of February 27th, 2026. So there are still there are days that have not yet been even counted in this calculation. There's a whole 4 days of Goat versus Fish that are not even in this calculation, and it's already 2,187. We've almost done it, Goat and Fish. Our YouTube watching the verses, we've almost done it together. We've almost done it together. Appreciation. And, of course, for the subscriptions of Goat versus Fish. And we think that, yes, after this mighty verses, we want to give Lysergic Freak Fish a classic one. Goat versus Fish, screaming shirtless into the void on the Uncle Joe show. Some of you have been watching Goat vs. Fish for months, and you've never seen this classic versus. But now is the time. Now is the time for that classic versus. And we thought we had it somewhere. Let's see here. Goat vs. Fish, guitar hits, Goat vs. Fish, sneeze. Here we are. GVF, Uncle Joe show, shirtless in space.
And I think it's gonna be Goat versus Goat versus Fish!
And Goat versus Fish.
Goat are of the land and fish are of the sea. About what kind of goat or fish do you be? Do you be goat or a fish? Do you be goat or a fish? Because the goat do be goat and the fish do be fish. Do you be goat or a fish? Now repeat after Goat versus Fish.
Celebration. Celebration. Yes, lots of classic verses. Yes, lots of classic verses of Goat versus Fish. And that's the verses, and that's the verses, that's the verses. It has been a pleasant celebration here with you all on Goat versus Fish, but Goat versus Fish, we've got to go get that trim. We've got to go get that trim. We've got to go get that trim. But yes, Goat vs. Fish did a little versus this time. We increased the bit rate of the live stream. So we do kind of wonder if Goat vs. Fish, we know that last live stream was especially fence, but we just wonder if in general, Goat vs. Fish is looking a bit more crispy than usual because we increased the bit rate. Like when we move about, do we look less fuzzy than usual because Goat vs. Fish increased the bit rate of the verses. We could increase it again. We put it up to 4,000. We could make it. It's over 5,000. We could make it 6,000. The 8-bit was still superb. Oh, it worried Goat vs. Fish. We were like, oh no. We have to fix it. Appreciation, Goat and Fish. Once again, Lysergic Freak Fish, Blackstone 514, Tyrus, and She's a Killer TTV. On Goat vs. Fish, a final, always recognition for our patronage. Appreciation, I Can Fix Amber Heard. The humble congregation. We have read out their names once before. Here on Goat vs. Fish, we will not be reading them again just now, but we did read them out before. And we want you to look at them gloriously. So if you want your name on the list of paying patrons of Goat vs. Fish, and there is someone who's not on this list because we have been getting new patrons so fast that we are struggling to update the graphic every time, but She's a Killer TTV is also a member of the $5 a month humble congregation. Your grocery prices may be going up, but joining the humble congregation of Goat vs. Fish is still just $5 American dollars a month. And oh, my verses! Wait! Hold on! You know that means it's serious. You know that means it's serious. Goat and Fish. The YouTube poll has been evened by Fish. The YouTube poll has been evened by Fish. The YouTube poll has been evened by Fish.
Do not take our American slogan and rip it off and throw a fish in the middle of it.
What sort of fish are there? What type of fish is this?
It's like a giant salmon smacking you in the face.
If you cast a net like that, you're gonna catch some fucking fish, okay?
Yeah.
Fish, 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 fish. Fish have taken the YouTube poll that was for Goat, and now it's an even versus between Fish and Goat. Now it's an even versus. Versus cancellation. Versus cancellation. The poll that was once won by the Goat is now been cancellation by Fish. That means we have one unification poll. We'll put it like this. We'll put a unification poll. It will just look like this, and you'll have to say, what's that? And we'll just say it's a unification poll. Trust Goat versus Fish. It's not a fence. It's not a fence at all. It's a unification poll. The poll of unification. 39. And we know that unifications like to seek even verses. So in the absence of a unification, that unification is going to gravitation towards Fish. The YouTube poll is going for Fish. It looks like a fence. Well, when you're a fence hitter, everything looks like a fence, doesn't it? When you're a fence hitter, everything looks like a fence. When you're a fence hitter, even Goat versus Fish looks like a fence. But that's all just a matter of your perspective, isn't it? Play fence games, win fence prizes, have fence minds, see fence vises. Yes. I can fix Amber Heard. We already said that, and now you're just repeating Goat versus Fish. You're just repeating Goat versus Fish. Over and over again. This has been a versus of Goat versus Fish. We appreciate all of you here with Goat versus Fish. For those of you watching on YouTube, thank you for watching on Goat versus Fish. Your watch hours will be documented and accumulated and sifted through and calculated, and we'll take out all the fence spots, and it will be added to the grand total of monetization for YouTube of Goat versus Fish, after which point we will tell you not to even give us super chats because we would rather you just use the direct tip link anyway. But a Goat versus Fish has got to do what a Goat versus Fish has got to do. Am I versus? Am I versus? And celebration, weed pipe, celebration for Fish. YouTube, this has been Goat versus Fish. Morning Motivational number 37 with music by Sunshine. And we'll see you on the next versus of Goat versus Fish.